Hey guys, what? Is it Monday already? You know, I wouldn't believe it if you told me. I wouldn't believe it if I wasn't sitting here right now about to play Birth of the Red Dragon episode 13. I would have never believed it was Monday already. For some people, they think that Monday is, you know, the bad day of the week. And the group here, the D&D group that we play with, we've all decided to make Monday a cool thing. And so that's where we have decided, let me come back here, we've decided to make Monday a cool thing. And that is why we play D&D on Monday. Because while you're at work, while you're maybe don't have to work on a Monday, or whatever you're doing, it's really nice just to go, but you know what? Soon enough I'll have D&D. I'll get to play some D&D. And there are days where you are kind of like, oh, do I really have the commitment to sit down for 4 hours and go through this? And it's one of those things where when you sit down with good friends and just get to be yourself and get to like be who you are, no matter what, you can turn a bad day into a good day. I say that a lot here for role playing and for D&D. It's all about just getting to break free and turn that bad day into a good day, and turn a good day into an even greater day. It's about building those experiences where weeks later, months later, years later, to your grandchildren, do you remember the story of Nerva Birch, the wise wizard in the Dragon Keep Manor? I remember when she got her first desk. Last episode, she did get her own office in Dragon Keep, in the Dragon Keep archive with Ophlin. I'm going to head over to the adventuring lobby now, and we will go over our adventures real quick. Hey guys, what's up? The party started. I hope everybody's ready. If you're not, that's also okay. Just, you know, do what you got to do. Real quick character introduction. Let's start with... Do you guys do in the D&D chat room? Do we all see the same names appearing in order? It might be hard to see. You know what? That might be too much work. Now that we might have split monitors. Let's just start with Garrett.
Hey everyone, my name is Brian. I play Garrett, a human artificer that's got a little bit of mystery and had some interesting revelations last session at the very end.
Yeah.
That we'll go over.
That was part of the whole climatic end of the episode.
If anyone remembers.
Yeah, Nerva.
Hello, my name is Josephine. I play Nerva, Drow Abjuration Wizard. Kind of like a Hermione Granger kind of background, but getting a little taste maybe for the dark side recently.
You kind of like the Hermione if Hermione had the scar on her forehead.
You know, yeah, I like that.
Because, like, wasn't Harry... I don't know Harry Potter much, but Harry was pretty... He had some dark side, right? Did he?
I mean...
Or am I thinking...
I wish we could have seen a little more from other characters. I feel like Harry Potter was written in that kind of, like, omnipresent, but, like, only for one character kind of thing. Sure. Like... So we only got to see Harry's like thoughts, but
do the books have it fleshed out, or was that just the movie? Okay, so the books are like that too.
Yeah, it's very like Harry centric.
Okay.
Yeah, he's the protagonist.
Okay, sorry. And then on to the protagonist of our story. No, I'm just kidding. I said that, and then I looked at who else we have left. I'm like, who should I name? Like, who would be the most satirical to name here? And like, literally everybody. And this is why it's so much fun. We've all got such a cool like piece in this story. But let's just go next over to Peyo.
Hey, so my name's Kevin. Right now I'm playing as Peyo Murasan. He is a Cyaniter, level 5, and he's also a ranger. The Cyaniter is someone who can teleport. He's an interdimensional fighter who got imbued with cyanite energy. So he has a slight distrust towards magic because he used to be a gladiator forced to fight, and by this evil wizard who imbued him with this
Gravitermos.
energy. Yeah, yeah.
Gravitermos.
So, but he's slowly starting to get, a little bit more accustomed to it, and so his rangerness is starting to come out.
Hell yeah. Let's head over to Eliard.
Hi, my name is Tamir, and I play Eliard. He is a half Ganassi, half human, or fire Ganassi, half human. And he is a Eldritch Knight, so that means he can wield weapons and magic. Just recently, he obtained a very powerful katana and donned some heavier armor, and has been kind of acting like the tank of the group, doing what he can to throw himself out there and protect his party and shed some blood. He likes doing that
He
too.
attack, but he also attack.
Mm-hmm.
Am I the only one who can't hear anything?
I can't hear Logan if he's talking.
Yeah, sorry. Thank you for that. I had a siren going by, so I muted quick. When you're like, I can't hear anything, I was like, all right, fine, tune me out. Oh wait, I did that myself. I wanted to commend you, Tamir, for this being your first campaign, along with the other people who this is their first campaign. But you picked a fighter class to be this like dexterous fighter, sword wielding like fire genie, and you've had to stand up into the tank class too, just because we don't have a necessarily dedicated tank. So it's just kind of not like, it's pretty cool to see you see your character arc growing, like with also like the growth of your knowledge of the game. And that was pretty cool. So next, fire is red, and now we'll go to the red bird, Erizo.
How's it going, everyone? My name's Jose, playing Erizo, our wonderful ranger birdman. Caw-caw! Hopefully today, it'll go nice and swell. Be able to get some of that in there.
Some rave whistle, yeah. Do you have that whistle for raves? Don't lie.
I don't.
Oh, okay, that's fair.
It was my lifeguard whistle.
Okay. Aristo's a bit of a lifeguard. You were the lifeguard on the airship. Anyways, keep going. I'm sorry to interrupt.
But yeah, I mean, just finishing off, similar to Eliard, Erizo finally got some more equipment and potential to be able to grow him now. Hopefully being able to find this bone gem. Hopefully Erizo remembers as far as what kind of bones to avoid. So that'll be fun.
Do you know what kind of bone you're looking for?
Yes, and I do remember, and I seem to have misplaced my notebook. So
that's okay. Take some time to look for it. Just make sure, because it wouldn't hurt to ask for it now while you're in the clans. They might have a good indication on that. Next is our friend Getafix.
I'm Trent, and I play the Furbog Druid Cleric. Is that how you say it?
Yeah,
two,
sure.
2 classes?
Yeah, you can just say Druid too, but yeah, multi-class into Cleric due to recent events and experiencing a divine intervention.
Yeah. He's 60% healer, 60% tidal wave caster.
Absolutely nothing in between.
Yeah, that's it.
Cool. Also is donning some heavier armor now. Was told that when he actually gets more strength too, that he can come back and get even more armor.
Looking forward to it.
Hell yeah. Okay, so that was our characters. Now that we know who we are, let's talk about what we've been doing. last episode started off with a reunion with Lander Dawnstar, where you guys were strategizing a campaign to go across Oxton and basically help him win his campaign for governor. This party, the Birth of the Red Dragon party, has recently upset the politics here by exposing the former governor as a turncoat, as aiding Sephiron, who's an evil sorcerer, and he was closely aligned with the Merchants Guild. But people, due to propaganda, etc., fail to believe that the governor had anything to do with Sephiron, Governor Boehner. But the Merchant Guild seems to be drawing out the war, and there's a lot of other places that seem to be drawing out this war against Sephiron because it's getting a lot of money. There's a lot of money that's coming into certain areas, and you guys should definitely focus on that aspect of what I'm just saying here, like in this campaign. And then there's Lander Dawnstar, who is a sorcerer, half-elf, high sorcerer of Oxton, lives in this Dragon Keep mansion in the back, very high level to metagame. But he's working, he kind of put this strike team together with some other people. He's like a Poseidon, like this behind the curtain, very powerful sorcerer. Last episode, we found out that he applied for the High Council, which was only nine high counselors in this whole realm. Not this realm that you're looking at. There's a much bigger map. This is just the Oxton Keep region, the castle area. And the Lander had put in to work for the whole High Council, and they turned him down for being too ambitious. And he's been humbled by it, so he says, for his campaign. And he wants to run in conjunction with the Empire, and he's with the proletariats, he's with the lower ranking of the military, and he wants to put an end to this war, because even though there are people who are profiting from it, there's a lot of needless suffering that's going on as well. And he also, as a sorcerer, as a high-level sorcerer, which I don't know if our adventurers have really drawn this together yet, but he's a high-level sorcerer. And the antagonist of this whole series, all 33 episodes that we've done, has been an evil high-powered sorcerer. So there's definitely that red and blue line where Lander Dawnstar is actually white. He's a white dragon background sorcerer, but Sephiron has been using a lot of blue, and right now Lander is aligned with the red color because he's technically running as a loyalist to the Empire. And so is Marco Wonderman, who's the other politician that's running as a loyalist. And they're all running to be the loyalist governor of Oxton, but it's politics, so it's all fucking fake, and nothing's real. And the party has decided to go from the Dragon Keep Mansion, which is on the top of the page. They went down, they went through a couple of these towns, Prinpool, they dropped off Wanjane and Arden, they traveled here, and then right here there's a little gap because there's a large wheat field and grain field and cattle that are herded in this middle. It's about another 9 miles, so it's it's a little bit further off of a satellite area, and they've made it to the clans where they Peyo Morisan was getting a longbow there. And he wanted to get a longbow, and Lander's like, hey, while you're there, that'll be a great chance to do some political stuff, like talk to my friend, Rorith. And he did that, and Rorith is just like not the mayor by any means, but while they were there, they found out that Marco Wonderman, the opposing governor, was giving a speech there and soliciting support in the clans. And Marco Wonderman was giving the speech. He was talking about how he wants to help and everything. Getafix had casted Disguise Self to look like a Penguin refugee. Penguin was a city that fell to some evil undead magic that has been like crawling all over the world, likely due to Sephiron using it as like a proxy army, just kind of like giving a lot of power to the undead and letting them do the damage before Sephiron can send his own armies in. And Getafix had acted as a Penguin refugee and saying like, no, you won't, like you weren't at Penguin. We need someone like Lander Dawnstar, and it was all this stuff, and there's a huge feud. Marco Wonderman invited the party to come to his banquet tonight. And on the way there, Marco Wonderman asked for a private conversation with Getafix, where they both walked into a room. And Marco Wonderman had shifted shape. Did you shape shift into Garrett? Or
Just changed my appearance.
yeah, just like shifted his appearance into Garrett and was like, "Hey, it's me, Garrett." Garrett is the artificer in the group that's been with him who went missing 2 episodes ago, and now he's coming back, and he's coming back as Marco Wonderman in a disguise, or vice versa, or anything. And he says, "Hey, it's me, Garrett." Like there was a whole dialogue there, like you just like trust me. And Getafix now, this is where we'll open it up. This is perfect. I feel like I've built the suspense right back to where it was when we left off. There is instrumental music playing. There is the smelling of smoked meats. There's a guy named Zark Muckerberg, who's the like local meat smoker who's smoking meats. Just really loves to smoke meats in the clans. And he is... you can smell that. It's going to be dinner time. There are rowdy... Picture of a park, like a park space, and there's a big gazebo. And in the big gazebo, there's several tables for more like prestigious figures, Marco Wonderman's table, etc. And then outside of the park is a total carnival. It's a political show. It's a carnival that Marco Wonderman just happens to be his campaign is putting on. They're putting on this little show. And Getafix, you have like 10 minutes left before your disguised self shifts back. And I do want to give you a little bit more time to like think about where you're at and what you're doing, because you are definitely in the most suspenseful situation.
He shifted back already.
Yeah, I did.
Okay, he did shift back already. Yep, perfect. Thank you. So you've just shifted back, but I do want to hear from the rest of the party before we dive into that. So let's just start with Erizo. There is a big banquet setting up. What's on your plate? What's on your mind? And what are you kind of looking to do? Are you looking to, what's your advance here?
This big with this big banquet, and I think just trying to keeping in mind what O'Flynn told me in the Bone Gem and specific Abyssal and Dead to avoid. I am more just trying to keep an eye on everybody, just make sure nothing's out of the ordinary, but at the same time, if I run, I spark up conversation and magic comes up, that'll probably be the thing I'll ask if they're able to find where I'd be able to try to find such item. But yeah, so a little bit more lax, just keeping up with the team, making sure nothing's out of the ordinary. And
sure. Are you trying to strike up a conversation on magic, or are you just going to try and wait for something to happen?
I think I'll bring it up.
Okay, because I just wanted to say, like, the story's what you make it.
Yeah, I'll be bringing it up for sure. But yeah, see how the conversation begins or
so
where we're into.
Up. Cool beans. And Nerva, what's on your ideas, your plate? The sun is down. The sun is definitely has just set fully. So you can maybe draw back your hood as you are a drow.
Yeah. Yeah, I think I don't know, Nerva's kind of just gonna like have her head on a swivel, just like listening a lot, but also I feel like she's feeling kind of antsy and like I don't know, she's been like extra on guard lately, so if
like there's a lot going on there.
yeah, I don't know, she doesn't really have any plans like necessarily, but she's not afraid to like defend if something weird happens.
Cool, so you're on guard. You're getting trying to suss some things out. Do you want to make an insight check?
Sure. Let's see. Roll20 is loading.
Oh,
It's
sure.
slow for me.
No P.
All right. Insight. 19.
Oh, sweet. I don't even think I have Roll20 open on like a. There it is. Cool. 19. 19 insight. With you being on guard and you like looking around, trying to grab a heads or tails of things, you do probably suss out that this is a pretty heated situation. And with a vague insight score of 19, as you're just like on guard, you can tell the people of the clans are pro Lander Dawnstar.
Okay.
They're pro Lander Dawn. Like they respect him. They respect that he's for. You can get that sense that like that solidarity with like the working class. But they're indifferent toward Marco Wonderman.
Okay.
So it's like they're not against Marco Wonderman.
Oh, sorry. I was just gonna ask if Wonderman it has like outwardly magical capabilities or like.
He has none that you know of.
Okay.
No.
And people know that Dawnstar is a magical guy.
Yes. Yep. They know that he has dragon wings and all that shit.
Okay.
Nobody talks about it, but they all know that he's like low key,
Okay.
draconic bloodline.
Yeah, I guess that would like give some direction to my like. I don't know. I guess I would just like want to see if anyone has like a problem with magic or like how they feel about magic or whatever. But I would just be like listening really though. I don't really want to like draw attention.
Okay. From you've been in the town for a couple hours now, there aren't any magic shops. But there is an apothecary. There is actually an industrial-sized apothecary where they have massive cauldrons, almost like they're brewing beer. In fact, they do brew beer, but it's not their main focus. They do a lot of apothecary work, so they're more alchemist-focused, I'd say. That you've been there long enough. Yeah, that you can ascertain by looking around that the people are a lot more focused on alchemy, the alchemic arts, than in magic. But you don't know for sure on magic. Yep, I'd say two things are one thing is uncertain is like their magic usage, and then the second thing is like how they're indifferent towards Marco. Like what's that thing that's gonna sway him around or not. And Eliard, you'll just have to sit tight for a minute while we we'll get you into the story soon enough. As we bring you back into, because where we left off, you were at Dragon Manor. It's only like a 4 or 5 hour ride, but it's not too bad. Peyo Morisan.
Yeah, so Peyo was really excited about like just causing the chaos during the speech.
That's right, because you were up there with Getafix.
That's right, yeah, and we were like egging on. Well, you
were hurling boos and shames.
Yes.
Yeah.
And so this is what he lives for. He is like really excited about causing like this discord within the population and like really wanting like people to like Dawnstar and everything, but he wants to rile them up. And so he's with the crowd and he's trying to push them towards like completely supporting Lander Dawnstar. And if this was like his ultimate goal is to get a Marco Wonderman just like run out of town on a rail. And so he's just trying to talk to anybody who will listen in the crowd, riling them up against Marco Wonderman.
Nice. I mean, you can
and like when Marco Wonderman was like, "You can come with me," he's like, "There's no way that this guy trusts. There's no way that Peyo trusts Marco Wonderman. There's no way that he's gonna go to."
Peyo doesn't trust anybody, let alone a politician.
And that sort of energy, there was that sort of when he met Wolf, he gave him like that little carved thing, and that sort of energy like has attracted Wolf to come by the town, and he's just kind of like howling along with Peyo, and they're both kind of like feeding off of each other's energy, just kind of like howling along on this. Yeah.
You know, I was totally like following and I was like on it until you brought up like Peyo howling with the wolf, and now it's like the town people are like, wait, why is that guy howling? But no, I get it. I get what you're saying. Just
Peyo was
energy.
kinda-
Yeah, the energy.
Yeah, it's the energy. Like Peyo's not actually howling,
And
but
just
like,
being like, yeah, fuck yeah, invited me to your dinner. Yeah, right. Fuck
right, yeah, like
so
that's gonna happen.
Is Peyo low key toxic, but like the good kind of toxic?
I mean, he's chaotic neutral. He just
Yeah.
wants to see shit like happen.
Yeah, you can't spell toxic without chaotic neutral.
Right.
Bless you. Now let's have Peyo. You see a group of locals. Because I want to kind of play this out. You say you want to be riling people up towards Dawnstar and shitting on Marco, and you see a group. You see a group of young men and women who are all socializing, and there is one of them that's like holding out a parchment paper, and it has Marco Wonderman on it, and a couple of the people in the party, is probably like 10 people there around this like long table. They're standing, they're drinking. And there's like 2 or 3 of them that are off to the side in the party, and one's looking over the scroll that has Marco Wonderman on there, and a little bit about his platform on there. And some of them are kind of like scratching their head. One of them's kind of like nodding in confirmation, like nodding like, yeah, this doesn't sound too bad.
Yeah, so Peyo goes up to them and he's like, can you believe the bullshit that Marco was just spouting? I mean, the guy is so full of shit. Like, I've actually met Lander Dawnstar, and that guy is like legit cool. And he actually like stands by his word. I know, did you see that guy from Penguin? Like, clearly Marco like is evil. How can you believe anything that's on this paper? Like, I could write something and it would be better than that, and it would just be like everything that's on that paper is just bullshit. Do you seriously believe it? And then Wolf comes by and like takes the paper.
A wolf's an actual wolf.
Wolf's an actual wolf.
Okay, just for the people in Radio Land, Wolf is an actual wolf. And the wolf walks up and just kind of snatches the paper out of his hand.
And does the head shake.
Yeah, yeah, and just kind of like shakes it up a bit. And
I look at Wolf and I go, "Don't do that," but I kind of like wink at him.
Yeah, right. Hey, play nice. And as you do that, the guy's like, "Oh, I didn't quite get to see the guy from Penguin. We didn't really hear most of his speech. We came here for the party. They said there would be some like hosted beer here and stuff, but
oh, by all means, party, drink on, and there will be a party every day under Lander Dawnstar's governorship."
Well, I'm a firm believer in, work hard, play hard.
That's Lander Dawnstar,
yeah.
for real. Like, if you see his like platform, he's all about being humble and everything, but celebrating.
We know about Lander. He seems like a genuine guy, and he's been in Oxton for a while now, helping out with a lot of stuff. I know he works closer with the Mages Guild. Mages Guild doesn't really like a whole lot that we do out here. I don't know if they like us or not. It's just that, the Mages Guild is always creating these tools. They're always creating these contraptions with their artificer magic and all that stuff. And one of these days, there's not going to be a need for a butcher like me anymore. All the meat's just going to be separated due to some kind of, some kind of magic. It's just going to rip the cow apart and set it on the table for us. But as of right now,
there's no kind of magic that will ever separate the butcher from his meat, and Lander Dawnstar will make sure of that.
I really like that. Roll a persuasion check.
I'm getting teary-eyed over here.
It was an 11.
Riveting. An 11?
Yeah.
That's okay. He just kind of nods his head at you, and he says, "Yeah, I'll keep that in mind. I'm pretty certain Lander's gonna have my vote. There's not much this Marco guy could do. He's kind of new, and we're a little bit more traditional in our ways here.
And he's just a straight up liar. I appreciate the vote. I would not be saying any of this if I did not truly believe in the potential of Lander Dawnstar being a great governor."
All right. Well, I say it's time to party then.
Let's party.
Yeah.
Hand me a drink.
Yeah, and he grabs 2 flagons and he hands a big one to you, and then he looks down at Wolf, and then he looks around and he tips out a little water pitcher into like there's like a rock with like a he just puts a little puddle out for Wolf.
And Peyo just downs the drink completely and just goes, "Ah."
Nice. And hey, if you guys are I noticed you came here with you, and he kind of like nods over your shoulder to the rest of the party, and he's like, if any of you guys want to play a little 18 Mule later, feel free to stop by our table again.
I'd love to. And it's been such a pleasure meeting you folks.
Absolutely. Thanks. It's a pleasure to meet you too, stranger, and welcome to the clans.
Thank you. And then he goes around and does similar things around different places.
Yeah, and he just keeps that up. Okay.
Yeah. Trying to be the charismatic leader that he once was.
Cool. And yeah, people aren't really sitting down to any banquet dinner yet, so there's plenty of movement, people walking around. Getafix. You're in like you're in the bathroom kiosk or whatever. You're in like you guys stepped into the small like little tool shed area, assembly room, and you've shifted out of your Penguin refugee form, and you're standing in there as the 7-foot-tall Furbog.
That's me. It's me and Garrett in there, right?
Garrett left.
Garrett left.
Marco left.
Marco left.
This is so crazy. We got 2 people that are changing characters like every episode. It's just like, that's awesome.
Am I?
Well, no, I don't know. But I'm just saying because Getafix shifted into a Penguin refugee, and who knows what he'll do next. Whatever the fuck I want.
Hi, I'm Getafix. Welcome to Jackass. I'm gonna walk out as well. So I'm trying to get a better idea of like where we're at in the timeline. Is the like banquet starting soon? Are we?
Yeah,
like,
it's going.
heading
The
to our
banquet's
table?
started. It's cocktail hour.
Cocktail hour. Okay.
Yep. At least that's what you could make out from just listening outside to that.
All right. I'd like to just come out and kind of gauge the room and get a feeling of what the energy is within the banquet hall.
Sure. You just head out and go into the it's kind of like an outdoors gazebo. Like I don't want to dox myself too hard, but there's the gazebo by the baseball diamonds that we grew up at, that big one.
Oh yeah, for sure.
It's like that. Yeah. I don't want to call it by its name, just like full on. But yeah, it's a gazebo. It's like not a gazebo, a pavilion. That's the word I'm looking for. It's a big pavilion.
Perfect.
And there's people walking around there, walking towards their setups, etc. You see Peyo Morisan just like drinking, having a jolly time. You can hear him bellowing out about how cool Lander is. You see Nerva just like sussing out the area, maybe sticking to the outskirts a little bit. Erizo is doing the same thing. He's kind of not really on the outskirts, but he's kind of maybe not too far off from Peyo, and he's probably got a drink in his hand too. I don't want to take over roleplay for you, Erizo, but you typically have a drink every time Peyo does, so
Sorry, I was gonna waiting for a moment to butt in.
Yeah.
I'm assuming I was able to see everything that transpired with Peyo, that first engagement.
Absolutely.
Okay. So yeah, definitely joining Peyo for a drink, and really trying to see how his liking to me is, knowing how some of the past interactions have gone, and so trying to I guess have a good time and Get to know him better.
Yeah. Hey, I see you bought a longbow. Okay. Yeah.
Did he actually say that?
No, I said that. He could have, but I didn't. I was just that could have been just for like to just give it a little more juice.
Peyo's in a good mood and he'll be rocking. Maybe we can come up with a song for Lander Dawnstar.
Ooh.
Oh shit! You left Charmaine back at home.
I know.
That's okay. She was a.
I will.
Yeah.
I will add in that Getafix notices what Peyo is doing, and normally not the guy for chaos or unruliness, but for the good of the team, Getafix kind of is enjoying what he's seeing.
Yeah, hell yeah. Marco Wonderman, what's your warpath look like?
So I'm gonna wander around to each of the tents and just kind of clink drinks with them and shoot the shit. Try to be one of them, one of the locals,
Okay.
right? Try to see on their level. Discuss their current contracts with the front line.
Right. And you got one butcher. And he says, Marco, you've been, I noticed you, and I hate to just talk politics, we're trying to banquet, but while I got you here, you have mentioned that you are supporting the war against Sephiron, and that we need to be careful, and we need to, really set up some time to get in the right position to take him out. I want to thank you for that. I want to thank you for thinking about our troops out there, thinking about the Empire. That means a lot. And is there a possibility of there to be like an increase of business here, if we're going to like make a large, or is there a chance that we can have a larger presence at the Draken Plateau with our Empire, where you would need our services of processed meat?
Yeah, there. So yes. The longer the war goes, the higher the contract is. You understand this? Do you want your contracts to dry up?
Right. No, definitely not. I mean, my dad started Hickory Dickory Meat when, I wasn't even born yet. And now it's just been, I've taken it over. He's retired. He was more savvy with securing new business than I was. And frankly, for most of my life, I've just butchered meat and sent it to the Draken Plateau and sent it to other areas that were going with the warfront. So I like knowing that there's some job security there. I really appreciate that. And I wish you the best of luck. And he puts his hand out to you.
Yep. I'm gonna go ahead and shake it, and as I'm shaking, I'm just gonna kind of square off and look at him in the eyes, and just remember that the longer the war goes, the longer the contract lasts. You want the war to end, the money dries up.
All right. Nice. You can make a deception or a persuasion, but I gotta go. My phone alarm's going off, so you can make that roll, and I'll be right back to see that.
All right, Peyo, let's make this song real quick right now. Quick chant.
Lander Dawnstar, the winner of all. Lander Dawnstar, the friend to 'em all. Now you gotta come up with something.
There you go. That'll do.
Fire.
Okay, 1 second.
That was a 15.
15. Okay, thank you. With a 15. With the 15, he says, "Sure, yeah, that makes sense. I'm glad you've got us in your interest."
I'm gonna, as soon as I don't even pay attention to what he says, I just turn my back to him, and then take a handkerchief out of my pocket and wipe my hand off that I shook with him and put it back in.
Okay.
Clearly, like I just didn't even need to meet with him.
Also, who has the highest perception? Right. Actually, let's do a group perception check. Other than aside from you, Marco.
So I just rolled a perception.
Yeah, roll a perception check, and we're gonna do this and see. Getafix. You can have it. You can have advantage if you want because you just spoke with Marco.
Cool.
So you might have your eye on him. That's a lot better.
I got an 18.
Everybody else really well. You got a 19, 18?
18, yeah.
3 nat 20s last week's throwing me off.
What kind of dot? Oh, so, never mind.
You're not there. We'll snap. Well, that's yeah. If you're getting bored, we'll snap to you in a second. And Peyo, you notice Wonderman just being out now and like talking to people, and you notice Wonderman like shaking someone's hand, and you can tell that if there was some kind of mechanic for winning the town favor, that Marco Wonderman just got positive scores on that.
Did I see him wipe his hand?
No, but Getafix,
Okay.
you did. And actually, Peyo, with an 18, you did too. Getafix and Peyo, you guys each witness Marco Wonderman like kind of like wipe his hand as he walks away.
I clearly did it in front of the vendor.
In front of the guy too.
Oh yeah, the guy definitely saw me do that, like wiping the filth off my hand.
Okay, cool. I was gonna say with the perception check that the group can notice that I can tell you. I don't want to give it away too much, but Getafix, Marco Wonderman just changed shape into Garrett in front of you.
Mm-hmm.
And then as you walk out and you're like looking around trying to figure out what's next, you see Marco Wonderman like shake a guy's hand and then immediately like start wiping it off like that. You recognize that that could be something that Marco Wonderman would do, but you've also noticed before, just a couple days ago, maybe it was like 4 or 5 days ago in game, that Garrett refused to shake hands with the with Mia. Remember Mia, the vendor, the really beautiful merchant?
Mm-hmm.
He refused to shake hands with her.
Nice.
And so that could be a tell that this truly is Garrett. And I don't want to play too hard in that. I just want you to know that with that good perception check, that is definitely something that Garrett would do. But it's also something that a Wonderman would do. That a shitbag politician could do too. So you're kind of sus on it though, but you saw it.
It's like he doesn't want to touch bums. But...
Yeah.
Wiping the filth off.
And then
Butcher boy.
there could be E. coli or fucking listeria on that thing, you know, like yuck. Hickory dickory meat, like what the fuck is that? Get a real job, fucking.
I'd buy a hot dog from them.
I would totally buy, like Logan would totally buy a hot dog from Hickory Dickory Meat. But Getafix, behind you, you notice the little like minion, the little henchman of Wonderman, walk up. Like as you walk out of the little private area, you see the little henchman like walk up, and he like peeks his head in there. And he like kind of shrugs, like looks around, and then he like looks at you, and he kind of gives you a big like, well, that's a big bastard. And then he just like kind of power walks away while looking at you. He looks kind of like Jack Black. But like a more polished version of Jack Black. No, fuck that. This guy's a weasel. He's not Jack Black.
Nacho Libre.
No, this guy looks like Danny DeVito. Danny DeVito's also Saint, but is good typecast for this. Marco Wonderman's assistant. Marco Wonderman's assistant is Danny DeVito. And the people are starting to get to their seats now. Marco Wonderman, you have room at your table to invite guests.
Yeah, I'm gonna go back up to Getafix. and just kind of give him a little nudge and a wink. Come sit by me. Come. We have much to discuss.
And I'll follow.
With the emphasis on the discuss.
And the come. Because Garrett's also done that before. I'm like getting all that. I'm like, yeah, this is straight up. This is not just the character voice. It's like all you're doing also the like mannerisms, which is fun. And yeah, you guys all follow Garrett. I'm sorry, Marco, gets Getafix to start following along. The rest of you see the invitation as well from Marco Wonderman nodding to the rest of you guys. You're welcome to join the table with him or do whatever you please.
Canaron goes up to the guy that
Peyo.
just was talking to Mark. I'm sorry, yeah, Peyo.
Yep.
So I put the D&D chat like next to the D&D chat room from Discord right next to the thing, and so like I'm seeing Canaron. Yeah, I'm seeing the Discord, and I'm like, oh, that's okay, yeah. But thank you.
You can edit
Garrett.
Later. You can edit your name and how it appears in my server.
Yeah, I'll have to do that.
It's not a big deal to me, but yeah.
It's a big deal right now for me. No, but yeah, Peyo goes up to the guy. Yeah, Canaron just appears out of nowhere and just starts, trying to screw everyone.
Yeah.
But no, Peyo goes up to the guy that Marco was just talking to, the one, and what Peyo goes, so, he just wiped his hand because he couldn't even stand touching you. But do you really want to vote for that guy? And he walks away.
And the guy's just standing there like, he like looks down at his hand like, oh, maybe I should wash up for dinner? He's just like, what the fuck? Fair enough. Cool. And you guys, Nerva, do you approach the table? And wait, Peyo, did you say you go to the table with Marco Wonderman?
No, I will not go to the table
Okay.
with Marco Wonderman. He'll like wander around the party and just drink. He's not going to eat tonight.
Okay, cool. Careful, Peyo. We all know what happens when Peyo doesn't eat and has a couple too many drinks. Erizo, I'll never forget the time when Erizo was hungover as fuck. He's like, hold my feathers. So, Erizo, do you go up to the table with Marco Wonderman?
No, I instead choose to follow Peyo, knowing, he definitely needs something to eat. So as I'm following him, and drink in hand, I'm also probably feeling it at this point.
There's plenty of picnic tables.
Yeah, looking to see what's to eat, and whatever I find, I just grab some extra for Peyo and at some point hand it to him.
There's so much smoked meat. There's smoked chicken, yeah, but it's mostly beef. It is like upsetting how much smoked beef there is, briskets and stuff.
Wolf is going crazy.
As I'm walking, I'm probably like at some point get down to Wolf's level, and we're both probably just like slobbering,
pecking on some meat. Nerva, do you make?
I can see Peyo joining that, like in a circle.
Yeah,
and they're just like mindlessly munching and just kind of like nodding at each other. Meat fat juice is like rolling down their chins.
Both of you make an animal handling check. Well, Nerva, do you head over to the table? What's on Nerva's plate?
Yeah, I'll like be with the group. Nerva, I'm trying to think if Nerva's like vegetarian or anything. I don't think so.
She might be looking for a salad. She doesn't have to be vegetarian, but she's like, I'm like honestly like thinking about how much like smoked meat there is here. Yeah. And I want a salad, just personally right now thinking about it. I'm like, ooh, yeah. Thinking a little tasteful meat's not bad, but
I think Nerva like walks towards whatever the group is doing and then like sees like
the three of them
men on the ground like with wolves like eating like animals, and I'm like, do you guys have any salad? Like fresh fruit.
Right. And there's a tiny little table set up for like some vegetables and you see a
They're
smiling
like garnishes.
there's mostly just the garnishes that it's like a table where like the serving party is like grabbing some stuff off there to go garnish other plates, but a lot of
I'm like,
spinach and stuff.
I like slide some like kale leaves out from under like suckling pig.
Nice. Yeah, nice. Yeah, little kale is
And
really
like,
good cooked in a
yeah,
little bit of pork grease.
and I just like a potato or something, and I like
Okay.
go sit at the bar with them. Yeah, Nerva like drinks. She's not like a party person, but yeah, she definitely isn't like
As you
Cool.
are sliding some kale out from under a piece of succulent meat, you're approached by a woman wearing a very like she does not look like she fits in here. This is a very folk, very rustic setting. This woman appears wearing a slender black dress. She has incredibly pale skin, dark black eyebrows, tight black ponytail. She's got long black fingernails. She's very almost like gothic in a way. And she's carrying herself in a business manner. And she walks up to you and smiles. And she says, "If you would like a salad, I could recommend you quite a few good places just on the other side here. I myself don't like to eat a lot of meat in public." What is your name, dear?
Nerva. Pleasure to meet
Oh,
you.
good. Very nice to meet you, Nerva. You appear to be a bit of a scholarly person. I was wondering if you're new here and if you haven't had a chance to stop by our apothecary yet.
Oh, yeah, I suppose you could say I'm new here. I'm with my compatriots here. I imagine we'd love to what am I looking to say? Support small business.
Oh.
And we did see the large apothecary building, and I will say that piqued my interest.
Well, if you are in town at all, by any means, I have to say we don't get a whole lot of scholarly people to pass through here. A lot of the rustic folk and occasionally the merchants, of course, who drive wagon through here. You know, we just had a fun little gnome. I haven't seen a gnome in so long. He was through here just about a week ago. He's a funny little guy. I think it was... I think they called him Big Wilson. He's such a good man. He had stopped by here. But, sweetheart, should you want to stop by sometime? And you guys are walking. Well, you're like walking and talking over to... it's still part of the banquet, but it's a little bit less rustic. It's a little bit more like... If there's all like rustic people and everything, this is a more darker corner. And there are more subtle people there. You do kind of notice they're wearing a little bit more black. But it's subtle people, and they have their own little banquet table. And she says, "These are all my compatriots that I work with. I'd be flattered if you joined us to eat." And you look at the table, and you definitely see like a really nice fruit bowl. You see like good food, like good clean food.
Sure. Let me take a look 1 second. I'm just looking at something quick. Can I cast Detect Thoughts?
I mean, I don't see why not. Is it a spell you can do?
It is. I guess.
Do you want me to read it? For the duration, you can read the thoughts of certain creatures. When you cast the spell, and as your action, on each turn until the spell ends, you can focus your mind on any one creature that you can see within 30 feet of you. If the creature you choose has an intelligence of 3 or lower or does not speak any language, the creature is unaffected. You initially learn the surface thoughts of the creature, which is most on its mind in that moment. As an action, you can either shift your attention to another creature's thoughts or attempt to probe deeper into the same creature's mind. If you probe deeper, the target must make a wisdom saving throw. If it fails, you gain insight into its reasoning, if any, its emotional state, and something that looms large in its mind, such as something it worries over, loves, or hates. If it succeeds, the spell ends. Either way, the target knows that you are... Oh, wow. If it succeeds, the spell ends. Either way, the target knows that you are probing into its mind, and unless you shift your attention to another creature's thoughts, the creature can use its action on its turn to make an intelligence check contested by your intelligence check. If it succeeds, the spell ends.
Right. So, like, what it seems to me is, like, when you cast it, you can, like, automatically detect surface thoughts. Then I
Absolutely.
take an action to, like, probe, and then they can, like, know that I'm messing with them.
So when you guys are walking over there and she's explaining it to you, she's saying hello to you. She also mentions the name of the apothecary. The business is called the Black Swan Apothecary.
Okay.
She mentions that, and you cast Detect Thoughts. And right, would you like to do that?
Yeah.
Cool. And then because
Like, as we're, like, going over
and
to
you'll
her
definitely
table.
because an action's 6 seconds, right? And so you guys have
Yeah.
plenty of time to walk through there. Surface thought, she is really happy to meet someone new. She's like genuinely just like happy to see someone like you. But she's a little nervous about why you're in the clans.
Okay.
Surface thought. And she's like saying all this stuff, and she gets to the table, or you guys are approaching the table. You're seeing the table with the fruits, and right before she asks you, would you like to join us for dinner? Do you choose to probe?
No, I don't.
Okay.
I don't want to freak anybody out.
Do you shift your thoughts, your action to another creature?
Yeah, I mean, I guess, like, if I look over at the table, if there's
Yeah.
anyone, like, immediately making eye contact with me, I would. I don't know. How many people are sitting at the table?
There's like 6 or 7. It's like her core staff. Yeah, it's like
Okay.
her like team managers essentially for the Black Swan Apothecary.
Does it look like there's a spot at the table where she was and it's empty now?
Yeah, head table. She has the head seat there. She's definitely got
Then
it.
I will look at the person to the right of her spot and
Okay.
detect their thoughts.
Okay. As you shift it over and you get their surface thoughts, they're like really thirsty, like they want to get drunk.
Okay.
Like the person next to her is just really thirsty.
Okay.
Yeah.
Then I'll
Or
turn to her and
I guess
say,
like they surface area, you get that they are looking to get intoxicated. They're looking for some thirsty and ecstasy and all that. Yeah.
all right. Then yeah, I'll just like turn to her and graciously accept her offer.
Cool.
And I'll kind of be like, oh yeah, like I appreciate the offer. I don't get a chance to, to break bread with more, I want to say civilized types, but, and then I look back at my group and whatever they're doing.
All 3 of them. Oh, this is a tremendous segue because Peyo Morrison rolled a nat 20 on animal handling. Erizo
Nice.
rolled a 22, and that was just to see like if they're able to get down face to face with a wild wolf this wolf might have, what is that called when a dog protects its food, like this like food scarcity issue, like this
Food aggression.
Food aggression, yeah. So this nice. Oh yeah, Tamir, you're still here. No, just kidding. Good call, good say. Yeah, food aggression. And so like this wild wolf might have food aggression, right?
Rip one of their faces
Yeah,
off while
but
they're eating.
but it's awesome. It's awesome because like Peyo, who's not the handler, we've decided not to do any handling for this wolf. This wolf is its own entity, like a dragon. And he rolls a nat 20. And then Erizo gets a 22. Was that a nat 22 that you roll? Was that a nat 20 or was it like a 19 or 18?
It was a 17 and my perception's +5.
It was animal handling.
Sorry, meant to say animal.
Okay,
handling.
cool. Sorry, I was just making sure. I'm sure your animal handling is just as big. Either way,
Pretty.
Peyo rolling a nat 20 just like totally soothes that group check of animal handling. And Nerva, as you say that, sorry, I'm just not used to meeting such a, I don't want to say civilized people, but, and then the whole table hears that. And they look over and they see Erizo like flapping like a bird, like haunched over, like pecking at some meat. And like Peyo digging in, and like this wolf, just the wolf's wagging its tail. They're like all three just happy chums, eating this food on the ground. Like, what the fuck?
Peyo looks up at that moment and just waves, and then starts munching on the food again.
Yeah, I do one of those like little weak like finger waves.
Hey.
Like, hi.
And the woman says, well, it's our pleasure to have you. I got your name, Nerva. My name is Lucinda, and I'm sure you'll get a chance to meet the rest of my company as we break bread, as you put it. And she smiles, and you get just a warm welcome from everybody. Like people like smile up at you. Some people lift up a glass, and the dining's gonna commence, and you guys are gonna start eating. Getafix, you are sitting down at the table now with Marco Wonderman. Marco Wonderman, you have your Danny DeVito assistant who waddles over to you while you're sitting down. And he whispers in your ear, "Sir, did you dispatch that penguin refugee?"
Nope.
Oh,
Nope. He never existed.
he never... Are you gaslighting your assistant? He never existed?
You heard me.
Okay, and I rolled a 5 for intelligence save. So, he kind of looks at you and he's like, "Maybe I should have a drink. Sir, may I be excused for the dinner?"
Yep. Off you go.
Okay, thank you. And he just kind of walks behind scene and, yeah, leaves. At your table, there is the mayor, there is Rorith, there is a couple other just like village leaders that, for the most part, speak on behalf of the village. They represent different pockets. And the mayor says, "Well, Marco, how do you like the show? Welcome to the clans. Have you been having a good time?"
Yeah, it's been adequate, I would say.
Oh, very good.
Meat's good. It would do good for the front line. That's what I like to see.
And you see all the men at the table nodding their head. All of these like clans, like village representatives, like nodding their head as you say that. They're like,
Meat, it's strong meat. It's very strong.
Okay. I don't know where my pen went. Looks like we're gonna use a purple colored pencil tonight.
Am I sitting next to
Yes. Yep. You're sitting right by Marco Wonderman.
Marco? Can I put my hand on his hand and look him in the eye and thank him for inviting me up for dinner?
Yeah, you can do that. Just say it.
I'm gonna yank
I
my hand
really-
away. Kind of give you a little bit of a strange look. No one touches Marco.
I'll say that's strange, and I'll put my hand on his. I'll give him a big old buddy slap on the back and put my hand on his shoulder.
I'm just gonna kind of scowl and look over, and just kind of give him a, look around the room a little bit, see if anyone's noticing. Give him a quick little like elbow into the ribs.
Yeah.
Can I do an insight check?
What are you looking for?
I'm just trying to figure out what's really going on here because I'm confused about meeting with Dawnstar and then the contradicting story from Wonderman about everything being okay. Just trying to,
Yeah, roll.
to feel things out.
You can roll an insight check.
Cool. Ooh. 14.
Oh, okay. My scroll in Roll20, my chat scroll was still up on Peyo's Nat 20. So when I tabbed over to Roll20, I saw the green. I was like, great googly moogly. He's back at it again. Like, no way. Okay. But a 14 is a little bit more realistic. Yeah, you're confused. You don't know much about Garrett. If you think that's Garrett. You like what you thought you knew, what you thought, if you ever at all thought about Garrett's character, you never really looked into it. He was just always kind of like weird and like outcasted in a way, but it was never looked at. So you really have nothing to go off of. So it's a bit of a difficult DC.
Right.
It'd be easier if it was the other way around. If Garrett wanted to roll an insight on your guys' intentions, it'd be a lot easier for him to do that because you have all been genuine. You have all been very like, that's not even metagaming. That's just like facts. You guys have all been your genuine selves. This whole time, the person you're sitting next to, if you truly believe that's them, you have no idea who they are or what they're doing or what they're after. And right as you get that unsettling feeling, like, okay, I think I can trust this guy, but like, who am I? What? Or I think I can trust that that's him. Entertainment comes out. People come out doing feats of strength in like this U shape outside the pavilion. All the tables are in a U shape in the pavilion, and there's feats of strength. Really strong men who are coming in. One guy walks in like holding a cow over his shoulders. It's not like a full cow, but he's like holding a big animal, and he's walking, and like people are applauding. People are swooning. Like girls and Daisy Dukes come out and sing a little like a duet, like a little country, like classical country duet, and everything's just going absolutely swell. Then, as let's say an hour goes by of this dinner, Eliard, you are riding through the night. You probably didn't get to eat dinner. That's nothing that you wouldn't know. But you are on a horse. And you've just been galloping to the clans. I'm going to tell him. I'm going to tell him what happened last episode.
What's Eliard been up to?
So last episode, one of the like coolest things that I have ever personally like had in a D&D campaign happened, and it was like all meant for you. It's just like, but it was part of the story. I wanted to have it in there while we were at Dragon Keep to kind of progress the storyline. You and Erizo were dueling in the yard, and you were both practicing like different types of like magic that you were learning, like combat magic and stuff, and doing all these defenses. And Erizo had given you like a swift kick, or had like scooped you up in the air a little bit and like dropped you, whatever. But you had failed your dex save and basically tumbled off of a large cliffside. And below the cliff, about 60 feet down, there was a jutted out rock platform, almost like, you know, where Simba was lifted up in Lion King. Nice big, like, jutted out, slanted area that came out of the rock face. You landed on that. As you were falling down, the library, the archive of Dragon Keep, is built into the mountainside. So there's a window that looks out. And as Nerva and Getafix, and Nerva was showing off her new desk that she got, whoa, you hear Eliard fly past the window, and Erizo dive bombing after him. You had already hit the ground at this point and took a deal of bludgeoning damage. And Erizo stops in the window, seeing them, is like, you guys got to come down here. Peyo Morazan just jumps out the window, tanks some of the bludgeoning damage, making us. What did you do? Didn't you do? You teleported. He teleported last second. That's what it was. Peyo,
yeah, I teleported. I jumped down, teleported, halfway
Misty
down.
stepped, and just landed superhero pose. And him and Erizo rolled some medicine checks to help get your armor off. Your armor, your practice armor. You're wearing some heavier practice armor, like heavier weighted, so that way when you take it off and you put on your combat armor, it'll be a little bit lighter, right? Like a weighted vest, like a rucksack thing. It was pushing your wind was knocked out, and they kind of got your air back into you. And then you guys heard a roar coming from a cave, a snarl, this like nasty roar. Curious birds as you guys are, curious cats, you guys walked into the cave to find a young, like maybe baby red dragon. It wasn't on chains or anything, and there were 3 halflings who were bringing it food, who were trying to calm it down, and who were like moving gold around for it and like bringing it gold to like calm it down with its own horde. Lander Dawnstar came into the cave hearing the commotion and being told, because Getafix and Nerva were like, hey, how do you get down there? And the help was like, you're not supposed to go down there, but you're also welcome to the whole house. Notified Dawnstar. Dawnstar goes down there, and he mentioned that the dragon is trapped in here because should it ever take to the sky, there are other dragons that are waiting and in dormancy for another red dragon to kill, right? To kind of dominate the air. And dragons are super secret. He expresses that dragons are a huge secret. They're almost WMDs themselves. But he said that if they were ever going to siege the barren volcano and attack Lord Sephiron through his like lightning clouds and like through all of his magic, the airship's not going to make it through. And to control the air, they're going to need a dragon. And then he said, fire, and while everybody was leaving to the clans, he said, Fire Genie, why don't you come here and meet him? Because there's going to need to be somebody to pilot. And as you walked up and you put your hand on the dragon, it was burning. Like it was like just constantly radiating a ton of heat. Where most people would be taking fire damage, you as a fire genie have resistance, which is half. So it's like you don't really take much damage, especially with like proper clothing. But you can put your hand on this dragon and feel that heat. And you spent the last portion of the day essentially attuning to this dragon. That after a rigorous amount of training series, that montages that we love to go through with our fighter, you're gonna be a fucking dragon rider, like Aragon style. Yeah, dude. So you had this purpose of like needing to tank and needing to fight, and now you've become even more of a you've got even more purpose like put into you. And while you were there attuning, an owl came, a messenger owl, one that you guys are familiar with from when you were in Goodhead. It's from the airship, and Captain Moore will be landing at the city tomorrow. At Oxton. We'll be coming back to Oxton, not tomorrow, tomorrow night in the evening. So almost 24 hours from now. And Lander said to you that you should probably head to the clans and notify the team, because more showing up with the airship. The airship was the tax. It's the AS toll ship is its proper term, as it flies around the Empire area and collects some taxes and pays its taxes to areas, but collecting it does like trade. So there is this ship coming back to Oxton, which is under heavy political debate and schisms of control. And there is a proverbial cash cow coming now, a piggy bank floating in, a loot drop, so to speak. And Lander has told you to go tell the team and wants you guys to be ready for that. And so you took off on horse. You took off through... you took off, from Dragon Keep, went through Zool, Prinpool. You made it out of the outer cluster. You went past Arden, and Arden is where they recently left Juan Jane, as he had to do a little business there. Probably just going to stay at the inn, put his feet up. And Eliard, before you get to the banquet, you do stop and see Juan Jane with a group of half-elves, and they're all wearing not Empire uniforms, but they're wearing like official Red Dragon, like Alliance uniforms. And Juan Jane says, "Hey, Eliard, you in a hurry?" As he sees you like trotting by on the horse.
That depends.
So I was just wondering if you'd give us a hand quick. Wait, that's not Juan Jane. That's like Gaston. We're just unloading a little bit of cargo here. Wondering if you'd give us a little hand.
Cargo, eh? Yeah. I could give you a little lift.
Oh, I appreciate that. Wait, fuck. Well, if you best way to get through hell is to keep on going. All right, thank you so much. And we're just going to be taking around back here, our warehouse. And you notice that there is this nice little, there's a town hall in Arden, and behind it there's a small building. And it looks like it's being garrisoned for war. You know that because you're a veteran. Like, you've been through a lot of wars. And you look down at the cargo that they're pulling out of this big wagon caravan, and it is Red Dragon uniforms, Red Dragon breastplates, Red Dragon leather armor, Red Dragon fucking short swords. Like, it is all like official outfitting to outfit a small infantry group. And you pick up on that right away.
You mind explaining what's going on here? Don't have to sugarcoat it for me, Juan Jane. I've seen a lot of battles.
For how much tea I see you drink, I would have figured you more for the sweets, but I guess I never saw you put any honey in there.
I don't laugh. I'm just like,
yeah, and he sees that because he realizes he was just sugarcoating. As he realizes he was just trying to sugarcoat, and he scratches his head, and he goes, "Yeah, we're getting ready for something big here. Me personally, I prepare for war, but hope for peace. That's always been my motto. And I've seen enough, so I'm just here helping the garrison, and then I'm going to be taking off to Auckland. I'm going to be taking my own time out. I deserve it, right? I think I deserve it. I'm getting old. But I'm helping them here get the garrison set up. This is going to be our, we got Dragon Keep, and we just wanted another foothold somewhere outside the clusters. So we could... Here, let me drag your token on there because I realize you're not currently on Roll20. Oh, let me put Juan Jane on here too if I got him. Oh, I hope I didn't delete him. Just so people can see who Wandering is. Oops. Noonie? Oh, that's okay. I think I might have deleted him. I don't pay for Roll20. I'm still using like the oh, there he is. I'm gonna put him right on Arden. There we go. And so he's telling you that they're getting ready for some kind of war if there ever is one. And he says, I gotta, if you don't mind, you stop to help out. I hate to just pile on more of a burden to you, but we are still looking to procure a shipment of helmets. We've got just about everything to outfit our men here, but we don't have the helmets. We heard about a store of them that were being made, and we're just waiting for the right time to go pick them up. You see, the only problem is that that township's a little indifferent towards our campaign, so it might take some smooth talking, or I don't know. I always just like to smooth talk. But if you get the time, and head into Tremont, Tremont is right up here. I can't ping it there. I'll ping it here. Tremont is on the east side of the road into Oxton. There's a cache of helmets in there that we could really use. It would definitely complete our outfit, and should anything happen, we'd have a greater chance of success in any kind of skirmish. But I'm sure we can figure it out. If not, just keep it in mind. If you guys can, I know I'm assuming you're heading to your party now.
Yep, I'm headed that ways.
Yeah, all right. Let them know. Let them know when you find them, and if there's anything they can do. I know you guys might be pretty busy now, but, and you guys have been unloading this whole time. You guys have been taking boxes out as you small. I know, it's when we're role-playing and we're trying to, talk and do things and we're picturing it, and it comes out just one thing after the other, but theater of the mind, you guys have been unloading. So it's been probably 10, 12, 15 minutes, just grabbing a couple boxes, helping him and the two other, half-elves that are actively working. And then he just tips his hat to you, and then he says, if you, going with his pies, if you see Nerva, and he pulls out a small package of the Juan Jane cigarettes that I'm sure Nerva's just been recreationally, because she had a whole pack last full moon. He says, if you see Nerva, I'm not going to be here for the next moon, but I figured I'd give her my ration for this next one. Let her know to have a good one. And he hands you the Juan Jane cigarettes.
Much obliged, Juan Jane. Tell you what though, if I go pick those helmets up right quick, is there any way I could be compensated for more time, seeing as that's the opposite direction of where I need to go?
Well, are you in a bit of a hurry?
I guess not particularly. I think the party could wait another day without me, if need be.
Fair enough. I mean, if you wouldn't mind, they open in the morning. There's no sense doing the dark business if we don't have to. And he looks you right in the eyes, and he's like, don't fucking kill anybody. Eyes. Eye communication is please don't kill anybody. And he says, if you stop there in the morning, you'd be able to talk to them and see if there's any way you can smooth it over. Lander's good for the gold, but you might not want to mention that. You might not want to mention any affiliation to Lander at all. Just maybe if you go in there, say you're some part of a mercenary group, right? You look like you've been through hell and back. Mention something like that, or anyways, and we'll stop by there in the morning, and I got the gold here for it if you want to stay the night here, or you're more than welcome to carry on with your day.
And I've been Eliard's been traveling with a couple of halflings, right?
No, those halflings were with Juan Jane.
Okay, got it.
Yep, you've been on a horse by yourself. You got your own
Just
horse.
by myself.
Yeah.
I assume I'm like just a little feet away from my horse.
Yeah, yeah, your horse is sashed,
and- Well, and Jane, give me a sec. I'll converse with my partner here. And I walk over to the horse and just kind of ask him, like, "Hey, buddy, you mind if we stay an extra night? I know we've been traveling quite a ways." And I more or less kind of, the horse is fine with it. He doesn't seem too tired. All right. Well, how about you get us some lodging for the night, and I'll go check it out in the morning.
Certainly. We got a whole hooch set up here in the barracks, so got a whole hooch in here if you don't mind a cot. Otherwise, I don't think it's really in our budget to rent anything out. You could find a peaceful inn. Arden absolutely loves our cause. You won't find a sour face here, so feel free to look about if you want. Otherwise, we got our cots in the back.
Well, I think I'll sleep with the horse tonight. If you can,
Stables out back.
Yeah, I'm no stranger to stables.
Yeah, because you slept in one in Goodhead campaign.
Yeah.
Outrageous.
All right. So yeah, Eliard goes and
Eliard's
turns in for the
back
night.
and has his own little quest. This is good. We should take a break now. And do you guys want to come back at 8:55?
Sounds good.
I can do that.
Sounds good.
Perfect.
Okay, cool beans, dudes. See you soon. Wowzers, this is great. So I have Eliard being the dragon rider because, oh man, maybe in the summertime, I can't remember when it was. There was like a point in my life where I was super busy and I really wanted to play some D&D as like my escape. I mentioned at the start of this episode that, we picked Monday, just a day that worked for everybody, but also because Mondays suck and this makes Monday fun. And I really wanted to play some D&D. It's always in the back of my head. I was in between a campaign and Eliard, IRL, reached out to me and was like, "Hey, I've been wanting to play some D&D. I know you play. Is there any chance I can get in on your campaign?" And I was like, "I'm not currently running a campaign, but I'm sure we could find some adventurers." And so he's kind of responsible for sparking all this. So the same time that he wanted to do a D&D campaign, I got this red light bulb for my lamp because it's a little bit easier on my eyes. It looks cool. It's fun. And I was just like totally just recreationally writing lore, right? Like just recreationally, me and my typewriter thinking of like, what can we do for a campaign? What can we make? And I was seeing the red light and I was seeing like the shadows dance and I thought like the red dragon. And it just kind of all inspired me to do this whole thing that we're now like 33 episodes in, but just like the visions of Oxton, the visions of this evil sorcerer high up in a barren volcano and needing like dragons, and Sephiron, the evil sorcerer, was inspired to me by Aragon. The dragon's name is Sephira. And so it's a play on that. There's a big influence from the Aragon books that I read in middle school, but I've just missed. So maybe I should go back and read them again quick for more inspiration. But that was kind of like inspiring. I'm like, yeah, we need to have a dragon rider. And it's awesome because without knowing any of this, Tamir had chosen a Eldritch Knight, which is literally casting Brisingar with Eldritch Blast and everything and other cantrips and the firebolts, but also a Fire Genie, which has resistance to fire damage. So it's just like it's crazy how the whole thing just keeps piling together and molding. So I wanted to progress the story using his character as this like dragon rider, and the Birth of the Red Dragon, which was created by Lander Dawnstar, who's me. Thank you. I'm a noble sorcerer. And it's just it's a really wholesome experience to get to do this with my friends. And I'm gonna go on my own bio break. I'll be back in 5 minutes, but we are going to put a song in here. I guess I could check the chat, so I don't get to talk much. But yeah, this is good. Thank you for not blowing up the chat. That's awesome, because I always feel bad. I always feel like I want to talk more, but I used to leave the tab open where I could see the chat, and I just don't look at it now. So just a warning for that. I wish I could interact more, but I want to give it up more to the players, plus all the other web browsers that I have with millions of other things, so including the color.com, which I'm pulling up, and I'll bring it over here so you guys can see color.com. Color.com, musician, but you come to his webpage. Look at these backers. Oh, he hit his goal. That's awesome. I was really, I saw an update that his goal, he's getting close, and he usually blows it out of the water like that. Look at that. Almost 14K. Oh, fuck. I'm looking at me right now. Whoopsies. Look at that. That's me. Failed. Yeah, look at that. Look at this. He's got almost 14K raised of his goal, which was just, he's 1,000 over his goal. That's fucking great. But if you scroll down, you'll see his vinyls, his different ones. I strongly suggest, if you want to get a vinyl, Spectacular Vernacular. Hit you with the... It's awesome. It's a really fun one. But if you scroll down, you'll see all of his discography, and this is where I play all my music for my stream. I'll pick an album. Sometimes I'll roll a dice. His older songs are a little bit more like techno, not techno, but like techie folk fusion. It's weird. His genre is unknown. It's a lot like the Gorillaz and Damon Albarn. The genre is constantly moving, because like you can see these, like, look at these like technicolors. Look at Einstein like smoking, and then as you go up, you see this shift where it's like Color the Wild. It gets a little bit more rustic. It has this like Celtic Trinity calamity. It starts taking this turn, and then you get to this folk. Look at this. This is definitely a folk hero. Guitar, he's big. There's a bird, that's King Jebediah. Rustic landscape, all that stuff, but also Technicolor. So he's growing. This goes without a doubt. Wizards with swords and grooviness, and then now we're plants. And this was a nice folk album, was Cultivation. I realize you can't see my cursor now that I'm like looking over at this. The cursor's not on there, but we're on the sage plant. And then his album Half, which came out last, here on the left. Wow. Great album. It's tremendous. My opening song, we'll listen to it again just because I don't really talk about it much, but Bradycardia is the song I open my stream with every time. It's on my loading page. Bradycardia is like a condition where your heart beats slower than usual, I think. I looked it up one time. But the song itself just really speaks to me. Just like, really gets me in that point where I'm like, yeah, man, like all these people get so worked up, but my heart just beats slow. And he uses Alan Watts in it near the end, where he talks about the fundamental principle of Buddhism is no purpose, right? And it's just like the slow heartbeat, this like no purpose vibe of just like, I'm here and I'm rejoicing in that. But here we go. I'm going to be right back.
Slow principle in Buddhism is no purpose. Purposelessness. When you drop fart, you don't say, at 9 o'clock I drop fart. It happened of itself. You know, and all these pious Western devotees, you know, kind of put their handkerchiefs in their mouths and try not to laugh.
I was just your slave, never been treated right. I just said, yes ma'am, right away, anything you want. Yes ma'am, anytime, as you wish, right away. I was just a slave.
Yes, man. Thanks, Cullah, you fucking great musician. Boing! Moving us back into the adventure chat. Here we go.
Discord. And I was like, oh, she must have just had to leave. I was like,
that was my assumption as well.
Yeah, I was like, you know what? I feel like I was like, you know, maybe Josephine's like, oh man, I'm just ready for bed. Fuck this, Wu-Tang. And that's always acceptable. That's totally fine.
Yeah, I was just saying, like, I think like my head was like on my desk and I was asleep, and then like I woke up and like people were still talking, and I was like, oh fuck.
You're like, oh fuck, was I muted? Yeah, I guess that'd be the only thing. Like, if you ever just decide to dip, just have respect for the microphone. It's like all it is. Like, you like leave an open mic, and then
Oh my god.
Turn
I'm
on a
sorry.
Disney Channel movie, or like we hear like the Universal Studios intro, dun dun, dun 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 dun. It's just like blasting through like surround sound. It's like
No, I remember when I ended up falling asleep, it was in the middle of a battle, and I was like,
yeah.
and Logan's like, Peyo, and I was like, oh yeah, I take out my greatsword and I attack.
Oh yeah, sorry, great sword. That's why fighters are my favorite class to play, because like really when you think about it, fighters can be so bread and butter in combat. Just like, yeah, sure, yep.
Right.
Great sword, great sword, great sword, great sword, great sword. I don't need to think about this. Great sword, great sword, great sword.
I mean, that was half the reason I chose him. Like, I wasn't like when we did it, like the whole Misty Hop thing too, the interdimensional thing. It's a cool concept, but it was because I wasn't going to be able to make it all the time.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, because you had a commitment, so it's always like,
right.
We'll just have you fucking disappear then. It's that easy.
Right.
Yeah, I like playing a fight. In fact, I'm playing a sorcerer now, and in my personal life, and we're playing in person again for the first time in a while on Wednesday. I'm excited.
Nice.
I'm playing Lander Dawnstar, but he's only level 3 now.
Lander Dawnstar killed Canaron. Like, I
oh yeah,
remember
that's
that.
right. Lander Dawnstar did kill Canaron. Because Brian was hosting that one shot, and this is all Brian said.
Oh yeah.
This is what Brian said before the one shot. Yep, this and that. He like was giving me a quick rundown about the Eberron module.
Mm-hmm.
And was giving me that. He goes, oh, and Kevin plays Canaron, which is a lot like Peyo, but a rogue and has a goblin penis and beats noblemans with it.
No, it was an imp cock.
Imp cock. Yeah, it was an imp cock.
Yeah.
Has an imp cock and beats noblemans with it. And
Yeah,
that's
I
and
fucking
that's
love that
and
imp cock.
that is why it's like the adventure is gonna start off. You guys are in jail, and you guys are getting freed from jail to go on this quest. You know, as like a quest for your freedom. And you guys are in jail because Canaron beat a nobleman with an imp cock, and I was just like, and he kept talking, and I was just like, hold on, I know that's Kevin, but like, I just want to make sure
Into the first session.
Yeah.
By the way.
Yeah.
They literally just resurrected from stone, got put on this like epic mission, and wandering around the city, he just walked up and slapped a noblewoman with a 3-foot-long imp cock.
It's a noble woman. Okay.
Yes.
Apparently the cops didn't like that.
Welcome to Canaron, everybody.
Yeah. So that's why when
Canaron makes an appearance here, that would be dope.
That's why when Kevin was like, yeah, so Canaron, I was like, no, please no. No.
What's an imp cock look like?
Well, it's really
kinda like a
blackened
duck
and it's
penis.
kind of rotten.
Duck penis.
Oh
And
my
he
God.
kept it coiled around his neck.
It was a necklace.
And he used it like a whip. I had big plans for that too, and then you just got it taken away, and it never came back into the session.
Dude, that is
I was
DM.
very upset about
That is the parenting side of DMing, where you give them this like thing, like, yeah, this could turn into something fun, and it just turns into like a debauchery, and you're like, yeah, fuck that, take it back. You give your kid a toy BB gun, and then you walk in your backyard, and there's just like dead pigeons everywhere. No, fuck, taking it back. Taking it back.
Yeah, I mean, he also snorted the ashes of a dead dryad. Yeah.
Yeah,
there was a lot of drug use and needless inserting fallacies into other things. It did
a lot of damage. Like, constitution checks were not my strong suit.
Lander Dawnstar's favorite dinner is red wine and cocaine.
Yeah, I totally built a lot of traps in there for you, and you fell into literally every single one.
Everyone kicking it in.
Fantastic.
So the dinner's going. The dinner is on. The dinner ended. We're back in the game. I
was gonna say, before the dinner ends.
Sure. Yeah. Exactly. Please take constructive liberties.
Something that I wanted to do. I'm gonna take a small slip of paper out of my pocket, like my left pocket, and just kind of like palm it. And as I'm doing that, I'm going to cast magical tinkering on that.
Yeah.
And have the words in like small text appear. Musky Mare, 2 a.m. And just like slowly palm it. Grab Getafix's hand, give him a nice shake and a nod, and stand up and excuse myself from the dinner.
Musky Mare, that's the inn that you're staying at?
No, that's the strip club we're meeting in.
Okay, nice. I bet there's a strip club for sure in the clans.
Cowtown, right? So I figure it's the Musky
Yep.
Mare.
Musky Mare. Oh, Mare.
M-A-R-E.
I was like Musky Mare. I was thinking about like the clans, like the mayor of the town.
I mean, we can call it the sixth or the sixth udder or something like that if you want.
Sixth udder. No, Musky Mare is tremendous. Musky Mare is beautiful. It's actually called Six Tits. It's just like no. Okay, and as you drop off that letter and you excuse yourself then from the banquet and you say, you retire, your assistant sees you getting up and he goes up to you and he says, shall I escort you back to your home, sir? We have our bodyguards waiting. Our bodyguards on standby. And the whole time there has been like a small handful of just soldiers in heavy armor.
Yes. I am ready to retire for the night. And yeah.
Very good. This is not Mountain Blade Bannerlord. I got that all wrong. Okay. And you guys head off. Getafix, you see the note that says Musky Mare, the strip joint, at 2 a.m. And there is just debauchery going on now. Like, there's just, like, wholehearted, like, hardcore fiddle music just wanging on. There's, like, people blowing on glass. People, like, scraping washboards. And it's just, like, full yeehaw. And there's like fires roaring. They've moved all the tables out of the pavilion. It's now like a dance hall. Outside there are people playing card games, people at tables. If anybody wanted to try their hand in some gambling, you're welcome to do that right now.
What time is it currently?
Currently it's getting to be like 10 p.m. Dinner was probably 7-ish. Went on for about an hour and a half. Mayor Marco excused himself.
Cool. I stay stone cold sober.
Okay.
But I'm joining in the hooting and hollering and stomping my foot to the
doing a little dancing,
country tunes.
Yeah. Just you're just like patting your one big foot down on the floor.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And as I do that, I slowly connect with each member of the party and kind of tell them about the Musty Mare.
Cool. So you can. I really think Kevin did a wonderful job last episode when he was like, cool, let me go grab Getafix. And then let's go do, and it was just like, I'm going to go grab Getafix. It's like, cool, Getafix, where do we find you? So who do you want to approach? There's Getafix, there's Erizo and Peyo that you can go talk to, or you can go find Nerva. Which one, who do you want to go find?
Peyo is currently trying to play the dulcimer with the band.
Oh, nice. He's trying to keep up. Okay. Let's see where Getafix decides to go. And then that's where the story is going to progress. You look over, you see Peyo trying to play, you see Peyo trying to play some rustic music. And then Nerva was last seen over at the table with the, at the adults table.
The
goth club. Yeah. The scene.
I see Peyo, and I think our eyes meet, and I kind of wink, but then I walk over to Nerva.
Mm-hmm. And Nerva.
And okay.
You're still at the table, right? I'm assuming you have still.
Yeah.
Okay. So a lot of the plates have been cleared. A lot of that stuff is out of the way. And they have a small fire, like a small little campfire, like a brazier that's out by this table in this darker mood. And they have a stone. You saw this in... Do you remember when you guys were fighting those Durgar in the transmutation dungeon and there was like that music playing from a stone? and it was playing like throat chants. This is playing this is like they have their own little rock, because they're really, these apothecaries are very wealthy. And she has that's playing music, and the vibe is very like Massive Attack. Do you know what I'm talking about? Massive Attack, like it's kind of like a deeper, like it's like how do you explain Massive Attack? Teardrop by Massive Attack is their most popular one. Or like Phantogram, boom 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 boom, just kind of like that, like bassier. It's not like electronic, but
it's smooth and kind of suave.
Yeah, Phantogram's great. Yeah, but it's kind of like that. Know what I mean? Boom, boom, like a heartbeat, like rhythmic, deeper bass trance almost that they're playing. And there's a fire set up, and she's brewing tea. It just is a digestif. She mentions it's a digestif. Is there anything that you're talking about particularly with them that you want? Is there any way you want the conversation to go, or is there any questions you particularly want to talk to them about?
Well, earlier I was just basically trying to find out if they had, like, I don't know, just like malintent toward me to begin with. It didn't really seem like that, so I'm cool with, like, just kind of like being there and like, I don't know, like, I out of game. I'm not smart enough to like pretend how to talk like a smart person. So
I totally get that. That's the same way.
But,
how
you know,
I feel
I'm
she's a
assuming
very elegant businesswoman, and I'm like,
we would be
yeehaw,
discussing-
Nerva.
we would be discussing things like, so like chemistry almost. of,
Right,
like,
okay.
Isomers and
You're going into like the really like the organic breakdowns of stuff, and you know what? She's Drusilla is, that's what I said her name was, right? Lucinda.
Lucinda, was that
Lucinda. Yeah, it was Lucinda. That's a different female NPC, my bad. Lucinda is who, yes, okay. And so Lucinda is maybe talking, you guys are talking as she's brewing the tea, and she's telling you, like, you guys are talking about how the digestif works. Like, how, like, after the meal that you've had, how this tea is going to help your body, like, break down the food, how it's going to help you, like, metabolize it and get a well night's sleep. As this music's going, and everyone's just, like, really digging the vibe. But you haven't seen them drink any alcohol.
Okay.
And as you're sitting there chatting with them, Getafix shows up.
Okay. Yeah, I imagine I would be like, just kind of like sitting there chatting or whatever, and then like Getafix's like gigantic shadow kind of like looming over the table like behind me.
It looks scary until he comes into
it
focus.
It might be like a cinematic moment of like, oh god. But then I turned around and he's like, hey.
Getafix, you come into scene?
Hey, it's me.
Hey, buddy.
I'll just hold the piece of paper over and say, we have a meeting at 2. Will you be there?
Of course. Sorry, I'm so bad with this like improv combo stuff.
That's okay. No worries.
I guess Nerva would obviously like listen to Getafix and accept his asking me to the meeting or whatever.
Right, yeah. Getafix is taking this like very sober role and of just like trying to get this job done, and you're like, yeah, hell yeah, you're down to get a job done too, and focus up
And
on
I don't know, I don't know how much Nerva knows, but like I kind of explain a little bit of my confusion with the whole
Okay,
Marco
so
Wonderman.
you expo dump.
Okay.
So you expo dump to her your interaction where Marco Wonderman shifted into Garrett.
Correct, and
Okay.
my kind of concerns of I'm confused. That's as much I guess as much as Getafix knows.
Okay. And as you walk over to the table and you're speaking with Nerva and you're like going over like, hey, this is a bit of a confusing thing here. We do have a meeting with them at 2 a.m. and you guys are like, you're doing a little strategizing, maybe quietly. And who might we have the pleasure of joining us at our table? And Lucinda looks across the table at you and she does not look happy.
Oh, well, this is my compatriot and travel partner, Getafix.
Getafix. It's very nice to meet you. That's a very lovely staff. Where did you get that?
I take a very deep bow.
Nah, hit your head on the table. No, just kidding.
Yeah.
Just very.
Oh, shit.
Yeah, deep bow. I'm seeing it. Very long, deep bow. Yeah.
My right arm stretched way out, and then I say, "My staff?" You ask. This is Mother Ziona's staff.
And you hear one person almost like retch up their tea. One person that's drinking their tea is kind of like when you say that.
I look at them instantly.
And Lucinda goes, oh. And it looks like she just smelt something, like you had just farted while you were bowing or something. And from all the smoked brisket, it's just a nasty meat fart. Basically, it looks as if you had just passed a stinky meat fart at the table. And she goes, oh, charming, really. We were just about to call it a night. Nerva, it has been such a pleasure. Before you leave town, stop by the Black Swan, and I'd be happy to set you up with a little a little farewell kit, a little road pack.
Wonderful, thank you so much.
Mm-hmm. And almost in unison, everybody at the table who was once, they were all very just kind of euphoric and like, teardrops on the fire, dun, 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 and they're just like, boom, boom, wah, wah. They immediately fall into more of a uniform, all standing up at the same time and dismissing themselves from the table, not saying a word to Getafix as they leave.
Can I, before they leave, cast Detect Thoughts again?
Yes.
I kind of want to do it on the guy that choked.
Okay.
As for flavor for the spell, because it requires a copper piece, I'll like just take out a coin and like flip it and like slap it on my hand and be like,
nice.
Yep, time to go.
Yep. All right. Well, we'll head out. And then you looked, and as you look down at the coin, as you flip the coin and like put it down on your hand and look down at it, the coin almost opens up like a portal. Like, you know, when you look into like the water and you can see like an image, you're seeing a collage of shapes and colors that translate into thoughts, right? And you're almost seeing the thoughts on the coin, and you're seeing the guy that had retched. It was the guy that was sitting at the head table by Lucinda, the one who was very thirsty, and he is full of like hatred. He is like
at the mention of
Ziona. Yeah.
Ziona.
He is he's disgusted that you guys would even bring up religion at all, even though Zion is like an atheist deity. And that's a whole discussion in and of itself. But the fact that you would bring this like holy thing up when they're trying to have their like gothic time. Yeah, it's pure hatred. Surface level thought is just like it's like disgusting, almost as bad as like how, yeah, like disgusted to the point where violence is on their mind.
Okay.
Yeah.
So that sorry, I believe that happens instantly.
Yep,
It
and then you
lasts
can
for a minute.
and you can dig deeper. Yep. So that's like as he retches and he's like, ooh, and Lucinda's excusing herself, and they like all get up and they start turning around. As they get up, you maybe flip a coin just to read the room. All right, we'll take care. We'll see what we're doing tonight. You flip this coin up. Yeah.
Oh, sorry. Just my next question is.
Yeah.
So I want to like detect his thoughts. I can tell that he's like not okay with what's going on.
Yep.
Can I send a message to Getafix or?
Let's see here.
This detect thoughts is not concentration.
It's not concentration, and message is a cantrip.
So I kind of want to just like let Getafix know, like,
yep,
there's something wrong with these people. They could be, like vampires or something creepy like that. And then I want to.
That's prejudice, just because they're gothic.
Probe. I want to probe further.
Okay.
And, like knowing that they will be aware of that.
Yes.
So I think it's a contested intelligence, or no, it's a wisdom save.
He just makes a wisdom save. Yeah. Okay, 1 second.
It's only a DC. What's my DC? 13 or 14.
So am I getting a message? I'm getting a...
Yeah, right into your brain.
Yeah, just like right into your mind. I'm like, these guys are creepy. There's something really creepy about them. They don't like Ziona. And then I'm going to like probe further. So it's a DC 13.
Oh. And right in your brain, you hear, "Get out."
And I like take Getafix by the arm and I was just like move to leave.
Yeah. Okay. And you guys start leaving. Yeah. Yeah, I guess that's They're walking away. They're heading in the opposite direction of town. Black Swan Apothecary is just over yonder.
And as Nerva's like got her arm around me, pulling me out, I like look for the rest of the party and like give a little like a whistle.
Yeah.
Kind of
signal.
Big old
we need a safe word. Jenga.
Have you guys been watching Vox Machina, Legend of Vox Machina?
Absolutely.
Yeah, I was like, we need a safe word, and like Grog says just like the dumbest shit. No, wait, Getafix, fucking episode 2. It was the owl call. Hooty hoo.
Oh yeah.
That's what happens. So that was what happened when Nerva. Get ready to press that again. Nerva casts Detect Thoughts, and this like gothic man who stands up from the table has these like disgusted, violent surface thoughts. She probes a little deeper. Cue music. And he spins his head back, and he looks at Nerva, and he stares over his shoulder like a pissed off cat, and just stares at Nerva. And in Nerva's head, he just says, "Get out."
Oh my god, I'm terrified. That really added to the atmosphere.
That really did. That was tremendous.
Well, that was a thing.
I'm thinking like
our sound engineer Trent.
Like horror music paired with like the scene from It's Always Sunny where like Mac and Charlie like look in each other's eyes from across the room.
Oh, outrageous. That's great. Yeah, and you find the others. Now let's pan to the rest of the party. Erizo, what are you doing?
I think at this point, I don't know how fucked up I am. I know I've been drinking for a
If
while.
you want to leave it to the gods, you can roll a con save.
Yeah, let's do that. It's always more fun that way.
Yeah, if that'll help your immersion.
14.
You're doing good.
All right, doing good.
You've been drinking, so you can be drunk, but you're not like suffering anything.
Okay. I know Peyo was trying to play that, but I want to ask you if any of the stuff that happened with Nerva, if I was close enough to catch any of that. As far as like that last. Okay.
No, you did not catch that much, especially if you've been drinking. Like, you rolled a con save instead of perception, so to speak. Like, you made a save just to see if you're still able to stay up on your own 2 talons. I was like, wait. And maybe you've even got your talons like perched on one of the benches. You're not even sitting on the bench, you're just perched on it. You're just like standing there like looking at everybody like a bird, like the dubstep bird. Oh wait, it's country music, never mind.
Country music. And then just kind of use Peyo trying to do his best on the what's it called?
So Peyo and Erizo are performing. So why don't you both make a performance check? I love that the 2 rangers are getting along in the group. This is great.
I got a 5.
Okay, yeah, you can't. You're offending people. And Peyo rolled a 4. Oh my God. All right, 1 second.
It's just like a drunken horror show at
Ooh.
at the end of this party.
Good lord.
It's like I suddenly, like, you guys look at my webcam. If you're watching the Twitch stream, you look at my webcam and I'm like not even Logan anymore, I'm just Rob Zombie. And I'm just like directing this horror country nightmare show.
Oh my God.
It's a new Texas Chainsaw.
Yeah, I think that, I mean, with the fucking performance roll, I did roll actually for your quality score with the clans.
The hills have thighs.
Well, we'll get to that at 2 a.m. Next episode is anyways,
We're just banned from the city now.
No, this, you guys have been doing so much better than Goodhead. Remember the Goodhead experience?
I'm surprised I haven't tried to stab anybody yet.
We haven't killed anyone yet.
Every objective we have in Goodhead.
There wasn't really. It was just like,
I know. I was just like, oh God, Empire people, I need to run away.
Goodhead was supposed to be just like a pit stop for you guys to like resupply, because you had a long blizzard travel through the Great North Arctic, right? Like, you guys had a dog sled ride. You fought Yetis, needed a place to rest, resupply, maybe get a couple items, and then you investigated Blue Jag's books, which was a great place to like really help build the story, and get to the place you needed to be, etc. It just so happens that roleplay got to the best of us, and Goodhead became a place for foul play and debauchery. But
it just be like that sometimes.
Yeah. So you guys, Erizo, you are dancing, but people are like moving to the other side of the dance floor. People are kind of like, this is really weird. Honestly, I'm not sure if I trust bird people. And they're just like moving to the other side of the dance floor. And Peyo, the band, is giving you like kind of like weird side eyes, but you haven't stopped trying to match up with them. Like, they keep playing and you keep failing, but they keep looking at you like, hey, bro, like, you're not in, like, hey, stop it. But you keep trying to join in because you're having a good time, and maybe you're, it's fine. It's really fine. But a guy walks up to you and taps your shoulder, and he's just like, hey, he's like, you're ruining the show, man. Get out of here.
Can I roll again with inspiration?
Do you have inspiration?
I do.
Do it. Yep.
So is that like rolling with advantage?
Well, you already rolled, so you'll roll a second time now and take the highest.
Okay, that sounds good.
Nice.
15.
15. So the guy does approach you, and he does say, "Hey, man, get out of here. You're ruining the music." How do you redeem yourself?
Sorry, man. I'm sorry. Just a moment. And I just start doing it better again.
Yeah, maybe you like tune up the dulcimer a second, however you tune a dulcimer, and you
Yeah, well, it's very similar to a guitar, so yeah.
Oh, cool. Yeah, and so you kind of like twang it up.
Yeah, and so like when I'm telling him like just a moment, I'm kind of tuning it a little bit, and then I was like, I think I got this, and then I start playing again.
And as you tune it up, you tune up the instrument and you start making a much better sound. This like much greater like rustic. You pair it up really well with the rustic band, and suddenly this group of 7 people walk onto the dance floor when they hear you start to play, because your melody sounds like something they've never heard before. And these townsfolk in the clans, they're like inspired by it. And these 7 people come up, and there's a man in the front, and he's wearing a green shirt. There's a man wearing a green shirt, and he's got a green hat on, and he walks up, and everybody's like, oh my gosh. And they're like, and the man in the front goes, "It is I, Dad Link and the Adventurers. We love this sound, and we support this sound, and we're gonna give it a jig." And so there's Dad Link in the front. That's the Dad Link Adventurer. And then there's 3 dancers, and then another 3 dancers behind them. And so they all start dancing, and they're doing this like rustic jig with the music that Peyo Morisan is playing. And they start doing this jig, and the cheer is going around, and everybody loves the Dad Link Adventure Band. Everybody just like absolutely loves these people. They're like they are the equivalent of like the bardic folk heroes of this town. They're dancers rather than just like music performers, right? And so they start grooving and moving. Erizo jumps on the dance floor, and he... Are you sure you want to do that, Erizo? Erizo typed in chat that he starts breakdancing. Yeah, you can start breakdancing.
Yes. I'm gonna start breakdancing, and I'm just gonna fucking go whistle.
But
Oh my God.
do you have inspiration at all?
I do.
Okay, then roll your inspiration. Then roll your inspiration dice. You're gonna have to use it here.
17.
Because 17. Okay, so yeah, that's awesome. So were you and Peyo Morisan both failed, and I'm not shitting you. The mechanic I have for the loyalty score on these towns to like win in the election, you guys had rolled well, or you had performed well where you were gaining loyalty. And I'm rolling a d4 to move the loyalty score up and down. You guys both failed that performance check. I rolled a nat 4, and it basically plummeted your loyalty score back to where it was when you guys came.
Oh no.
But you both used your inspiration and have corrected it. So it's like a role-playing specific inspiration check. Fucking tremendous. And as the Dad Link Adventure dancing trope comes in, and they start blasting to like Peyo Morisan's dulcimer, Erizo steps into the dance floor, and he's like, "Shit, I can match their rhythm." And as they're like doing this jig, like Erizo comes in and does this like bird feather break dance, like around it.
And for more flair, I'm gonna go take it one step higher.
Oh,
I'm
shit.
gonna cast Zephyr Strike to do a little bit more like wind.
Oh
effects
yeah,
around me
so you're gonna
and just
use.
go crazy.
So you'll use a spell slot now to cast Zephyr Strike, which makes you swiftly move like the wind. Gives you advantage on melee attacks and extra melee attacks or movement speed, and it just makes you a super agile mastermind. And you just start whipping around and dancing, and it's starting to create a wind, and now people are actually starting to panic, and they freak out, and they draw arms, and they start attacking. No, I'm just kidding. They love it. It's like really good as you start like casting this wind, and people are like, whoa, these bird people are pretty cool. Like, I take back all my pre-existing thoughts about the bird folk. This is pretty awesome. And you are a folk hero as your background as well, so you actually fit in perfectly with the dancing troupe. We did, I want to say, we did get raided. Big shout out to Dadlink Adventures for bringing his mercenaries over here. Let's real quick go around and just say who our character is, and I'll share our photos on the stream as well. Just so if anybody's new here to the Monday night, they can get a chance to see who we are. And okay day. Let's start with Getafix.
Hey, yo, it's me, Getafix. I'm a furbog. I'm a druid with some cleric stuff.
And also apparently pisses off goth people that we just found out tonight. Next we'll go to Birdman Erizo, the breakdancer.
This is Erizo, your friendly neighborhood ranger Aarakocra, also /performer.
Also /performer and folk hero. We'll go to our dulcimer enthusiast, Peyo Morisan.
So Peyo Morisan, he's a side knight and also going into being a ranger.
Oh yeah, multi-class.
And he has got a wolf that kind of tags along with him.
Yeah, it's almost like a small bond forming with a wolf, which rolled a nat 20 to eat dinner with it, which is a huge bonus.
Yes.
Which is super cool. Like, it's just really growing the bond. This is Nerva. You want to take it away?
Nerva is a drow abjuration wizard. In possession of a partial like soul or something of a god and an amulet. Very interested to learn more about that. Possibly multi-class in the future. We'll see.
I just realized too. Sorry, keep going.
What?
Well, I was just gonna say, in your picture that you chose for it, it looks like you might have the winter orb in your hand.
Oh yeah, it kind of does look like that.
Yeah.
I was thinking kind of like dancing lights or something.
Foreshadowing.
The winter orb, I like that. And I would like to think that Nerva comes from like a cold place, so like
Yeah,
you know, I imagine her as like Hermione Granger and then like Korra from Avatar like put together.
Yeah. Okay. Oh yeah, Korra, and that's true because you are. So here, let's I want to pull this up here to the big map because you are from the Jagged Woods, which is kind of like Seattle of Aurum. So it is kind of like cold. It is up here, so it is kind of like a colder. It is kind of like a colder, temperate ocean. Because look, right above it is the Saga City Keep, which is this like very the latitude line where it gets cold. The latitude line is drawn pretty thick, so it's not too far off. But we're here. This is the region of Oxton. We've been we haven't really gone too far. You guys have just been in the northeast corner of this entire map. And right now we are somewhere near this forest line. At the clans, battling for a political war to gain political favor. This is the Oxton region. Whoa.
I vote we just leave now.
You guys totally can. You can honestly up in Wu-Tang anytime you want. So here's the thing. You guys had the chance to do the cold mission, and do you remember when you met Shiloh, the rogue?
Yeah.
And then she came back later. She was going to the Wash. The Wash is like a Caribbean white sand setting. And I thought for sure you guys were going to be like, let's just fucking go to the Wash.
That sounds beautiful this time of year.
Yeah, right? So you guys... Oh, and this is going to be good for you guys if you're on the Twitch stream. The clans is like on the forest line. So that's why I said it's a little bit... The map is a little bit skewed. The clans is like over here more, which the measuring tools are all uniformed right. 12 miles. So it's 12 miles. And then to pull you to zoom, we've zoomed in onto 3 maps now. That just, I mean, like, I want to just tip my hat to you guys for wanting to continue to play this and really helping me zoom in as I've been able to like zoom in on the woods here. The yellow line is the break. This is the rest of the Oxton region, all the small village towns. But we're in we've chosen to go to the clans to start this political adventure. And then we got a couple more adventures. I'm sorry, I'm digressing. I'm getting carried. I'm getting full of it. We have Garrett. Do you have anything you want to say about your character? He's been a mystery man this whole time, but do you have anything you want to say at this point?
So yeah, what I'm gonna say is that I may be Garrett, I may be Marco. No one really knows at this point.
You've been Garrett for the last 11 episodes. The 12th episodes, you appeared. You were role playing, metagaming wise. You were role playing Marco Wonderman, and you shifted into Garrett in a private setting with Getafix, and said, "Yo, it's me. Don't worry," and shifted back. Getafix is like, "What the fuck?" Because Lander Dawnstar even said that he didn't trust Garrett. Lander Dawnstar is the sorcerer who's running for governor against Marco Wonderman. So we're here in a political campaign against Marco Wonderman, and it turns out one of our allies might be Marco Wonderman. And then we've got one more Lone Ranger soldier, Eliard, who's kind of on a one-man quest right now, who's in Ardennes, hopefully going to wake up in the morning and secure some more armor, secure some more war. He hates fucking politics so much that he's just been sitting out, and he's going to be doing some other shit. Anything he can do to avoid politics. Tamir, do you want to give us a rundown on Eliard?
Yeah, Eliard wakes up, just kind of stretches and kind of forgot for a moment because he slept so well that he was in the stables. Makes his way to. He's going to. Where's he going again? What town?
Yeah, definitely. So before we snap back before we go to the Musty Mare, we can. Well, the dance party's going on. Musky Mare. Before we go to the Musky Mare, we will snap back before that late night happens. We can go over to Eliard, who's waking up in the morning, because this is the timeline jumps a little. So Eliard, yeah, you wake up in the morning and
feeling like
P. Diddy.
Feeling like The most important part is, do you brush your teeth with a bottle of Jack?
Mm-hmm. I mean, naturally.
That does sound like something Juan Jane would do.
Well, Juan Jane would definitely be sipping early AM.
Hey, Eliot, you need to brush your teeth, Pilgrim. Sorry, that was a bad.
No, that was,
that was wonderful.
And he's sitting there. He's drinking a bottle of brown spirits, and he hands it over to you.
When in what town are we in?
Arden.
When in Arden, and Eliard doesn't typically drink, but
Not
he takes
at all.
he takes a big swig,
and
that's one way to wake up.
Yeah, good breakfast. Here's the thing, man. All the player characters have slowly been building themselves up, gearing themselves up for a war, gearing themselves up. Recently, it's been ramping up. Getafix is now multi-classed into a cleric because a god came down and said that he needs to help with like restructuring, reconstruction, and he needs to survive, and imbued him with this clerical power that gave a druid the ability to wear heavy armor. Peyo Morisan is going into a ranger because he's just realizing now that like home is where you make it. He keeps trying to disappear.
Don't say that.
And Erizo's still building up and getting towards his amulet, his circlet. Nerva is attuning to this like dark magical amulet. Garrett, we found out, isn't really Garrett or whatever the fuck it is, and is like also the mayor, the governor, the potential governor elect. And then Eliard. This is, aside from the fact that you've been granted the position of a rider on a red dragon, you've started drinking. Because you've abstained from alcohol for like 28 episodes. When everybody's been drinking, you've avoided it. But now that it's been getting like closer and closer to this like pending brink, you started. You fought that when you guys found out the governor was corrupt as fuck, and you're like, I always knew it, and you almost died. Like you took on the governor's champion, like 1v1 almost. Well, Nerva was teach me how to Dougie. Teach me how to. Oh my god! And Erizo wasn't even there, and Garrett was like hurling stuff from behind a tree, and you're just tanking this damage from the champion. It was funny because you guys were putting in work until the champion actually landed the hit with his greatsword, and you guys were like, ouch. As like it just about wiped Eliard in that one hit. And Eliard, that you drank that night at 3 a.m. with Juan Jane. It was with Juan Jane, I think. So it's only fair that this is a week later. You guys have been to Penguin and back, and now you're like, you can't say no to Juan Jane. That's too good. And so the morning comes. You take this big swig. And Juan Jane says, we got a banknote here. And it says Storm Banks is the name on the banking card. Storm Banks. It's just a bank here in Oxton that's run by Lander Dawnstar. But he says all the funds will be on this banknote here as a certification. It's a new world, how this little piece of paper represents so much currency. But if you take this in, it shows we got a line of credit for them at the blacksmith. If you want to just head in there now and make up whatever you can to see if we can get it.
I take the banknote and say, "All right, I'll be back before you know it."
Okay.
And I head to the blacksmith.
Okay. Not too far of a walk for you since you decided to stay in Arden. You're not too far from the outer cluster. Let's actually get it because it is accurate. It'll take you just under an hour to walk. Oh, you have your horse. Yeah. You can walk if you want.
Take my horse there? Sure.
You take your horse or walk, whatever you want.
Whose horse is
I'll take the horse.
Okay. So you can walk there. You get into the town of Tremont. Tremont is mostly known for its like hovel districts. It's like, little hovel areas. But you see the blacksmith. You see the blacksmith company. It's more of like a warehouse for armors.
Okay.
And there's a big sign above it, and it's called Dreadnought Drakesteels. Or Dreadnoughts.
Okay.
And you can take it from there. You can walk right into Dreadnoughts.
Yeah, so I dismount from my horse and I pack my pipe. And I don't need a lighter or I don't need any sort of flame because I can
produce it.
Create one myself. I can produce it, but
genie.
I'm gonna kind of, I guess, ironically walk in there asking if somebody has a light for me.
Nice. Yeah, because fire genies of all the other Genasi, fire Genasi have the easiest time pretending to be human. And so you walk in asking for a light, and there's this big man, big forearms, and he's like, I got a handful of lights here, and he grabs this big steel tool that he's got by him, and he reaches into the forge, as there's just tons of big forges and other areas, but this forge actually looks like it's a model, like a display model. Like you could buy this forge, and they'd come to your forge and build this for you, this kiln area. And he reaches it in, and he grabs a coal out, and this big coal, and he's like, "If you don't mind," and he holds the coal out over your pipe.
Oh, thank you, much obliged, sir.
Yeah, and he lights your pipe with this big ember he pulled from the fire, and he throws it back in as your pipe's lit, and he goes, "My name's Goban," and he puts his arm out for a big meaty forearm shake. "My name's Goban." And he smiles.
Goban.
Yeah.
And I return it with a meaty handshake.
Nice. And he stares at you with this grinning, toothy maw. And he's like, "Yeah, what brings you in here?"
Oh, I got this here banknote for a couple of helmets. I was hoping you could help me find this order. And I whip out the banknote and show him my documentation of what I'm looking for.
You whip out that banknote, which just shows how much money you have. You basically just whip out your checking account. That's what you did.
Okay.
And he goes, "Geesh." That's a mighty big bankload. Might I ask what you need that many helmets for?
Well, is it any of your business? And I just kind of give him a what?
A look.
Because he's not. Yeah, because he does. He shouldn't know what that's for, right? This is kind of.
I mean, it's up to you. However you want to play it. Juan Jane did say not to mention.
To let him know.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I'm just trying to not intimidate him, but kind of Larry David. You know, just kind of like Larry David him.
You're trying to Larry David him. I know exactly what you mean. So I tell you what, man, if you're not trying to intimidate him, then you can roll a persuasion. Oh, hold on, save that. Holster the roll. Holster the roll.
All
right. Because you're engaging in some good role play. I have a loyalty score here for the town of Tremont, and the NPCs of Tremont backpack from that loyalty score.
Okay.
And I'm going to tell you now, he reacts with, "Well, it's none of my... Wait. Well, what can I do for you? Scottish, what can I do for you? Well, if it's none of my business, then my business is none of your business."
All off the sound of that, mate. And I reach out my arm for a meteor handshake.
A meteor handshake. And he just turns around. He just leaves your meat hanging. And he's like, and he says over his shoulder, "These are trying times." And he starts working the steel.
Fair enough, good sir.
"And if you want to know what I can do for you, I'm going to need to know what you can do for me." And he just moving some coals around, getting the morning started. They're probably going to be doing some tempering of equipment at some point this afternoon. And he looks at you, and he stares at you. "And you see, my problem is I can't ascertain where you lie politically. In order of helmets that large, that's for something big. Perhaps I could provide you a discount, should I know your true intentions.
Well, I'm not one to break a promise to a friend. I hope you can understand that. But if you need some help, I'm sure you noticed that my complexion is not quite human. Perhaps I could help you out around here. And I just kind of I relight my pipe with my finger.
Okay. And yeah, some parlor tricks. Fire genie, huh? And he looks back at you with this really big toothy grin. You wouldn't happen to be that fire genie who has been down to Penguin?
And I kind of do an open arm shrug, like, yeah, what's it to you?
Well, that whole Penguin thing is all just a lie. Those refugees are just coming here to get out of their way. Too scared to fight for the Empire. They made a ruse and talked about some hocus pocus and wanted to come to Oxton and feed off our fat. We got no room for those refugees. You went down to Penguin and came back a hero. Yeah, I remember that. Why don't you pack it up, man?
So he's not gonna give me. He's not planning on giving me the helmets.
He's not. I mean, he's kind of turned off at this point. Yep. You can roll intimidation if you want to switch it. If you want to stick with that. It's just that the reason being, Tamir, like, you can't win them all. And like Elyard's character is very deep and stoic and has this crass thing to him where the just like persuasive, cheery approach is out of character, which is why I didn't have you roll for it. Because it's totally out of your character to do that. Intimidation, right? Like that's kind of dangerous to intimidate. So that could have also had its foul things. And Juan Jane, and I'll kind of hold your hand a little and say that Juan Jane just wanted you to come in and gauge it. Like he wanted you to go take the banknote, try and buy it. You're by yourself here. You're going in. You do have maybe decent charisma, I don't know, but it's like your biggest thing is dexterity and intelligence. And just going in to buy this, and he's curious because that is a lot of money to buy a lot of the stockpile of helmets he has. He is interested to see where it goes because he clearly has a political opinion. And frankly, your effort was fruitless. At this point, your effort has been fruitless.
Yeah. Well, I thought I'd try doing things the nice way for once, but clearly that's not my strong suit. So I'm gonna roll a intimidation check, and just a d20.
Yeah, and I can actually help you out because you don't have the chat open. You do have an intimidation modifier. Let me just pull up your sheet. Yeah, so you get a +3 to intimidation.
All right.
Your charisma modifier is 0. So if you're rolling a persuasion, it's D20 flat. If you're trying to intimidate, it's a D20 +3.
Okay. I rolled a 20.
Okay. He walks over to you and he says, "Look, I like to keep my business going. I like to feed my children. And I'd have no problem selling you these helmets. Just I don't trust the damn Land of Dawnstars. I know you're working for him. I know these helmets are going to his outfit. I just can't in good conscience do it for you. But
What?
maybe there's some way we could work it out, more money, more prestige, anything. But as it lies now, I can't in good faith sell you these helmets. Because, like, yeah, that's... DC 20 intimidation is awesome. Like, that's that's so awesome to get it. Because if you would have rolled lower, it could have been bad. He could have thrown a fucking ember at you, which wouldn't have done much damage. But it would have started something nasty. He could have intimidated you, everything. But, like, DC 20, it, like, calmed him enough to where he's, like, leveling with you now, man to man. And he's just saying, I don't like your fucking politics. If you want to come back with more money,
I'll respect where you draw a line in the sand. I'm not one for politics myself. I just wanted to help a friend out.
I trust my gut. And my gut tells me that Lander Dawnstar is up to no good.
Well, I think your gut and my gut might have something in common. I'll maybe coming back your way sooner than you think. But thank you for your hospitality, friend. What could I get your name?
My name's Gabbin. I gave it to you when you walked in.
And I remember that I did have that drink in the morning, so...
Yeah, that could explain all of it. Maybe you should go back to not drinking.
Yeah. Well, apologies for my forgetfulness. Seems this conflict has got my mind up in a bit of a tizzy. But I'll be on my way now. And walk out of the forage and head on back.
A couple people are walking into the forage. As you're walking out, they kind of just glance up at you and don't think twice, and they just walk back in, and Gobin gives him a hello. Well, what can I do for you? And he just starts doing another business deal. Just another day. In the morning, I'm sorry, that was in the morning. Back to the evening, we are in the clans, and the bands are all done. The party's all done dancing, and you guys have a little party huddle. Getafix, do you expo dump?
I'm major dump.
Hell
major
yeah.
expo dump.
Major expo dump to the party. Erizo, Peyo, Getafix tells you everything about Garrett, everything about the Mayor Wonderman turning into Garrett, turning into Mayor Wonderman, slipping him a note and says, come to the Muskie Mare at 2 a.m.
Just Garrett all along, it seems. Sneaky little gnome. I think we should definitely go with Getafix and follow him, give him some backup, and see what Wonderman is really all about.
I agree, and also those people I was sitting with are really creepy.
What did you feel? Or hold it. We should not talk here. We should definitely divulge that information elsewhere.
Right.
I think you guys did have an inn. Maybe?
There was an inn. The Red Oak.
The Red Oak. Thank you, fucking Notemaster. Notemaster and name generator. Musky Mare. Hell yeah. You guys head back to the Red Oak then? In between, you've probably got about 2 hours to... probably got 1 hour to midnight. We'll just say 2 minutes to midnight to match the Iron Maiden song. So you guys about 2 minutes to midnight.
Cool.
And you guys can get back to the... By the time you get to the Red Oak, yeah, it'll be about 2 minutes to midnight. You've got about 2 hours of rest to make and talk before that.
We need prep. We need preparations.
So, Nerva, I'm sorry, you guys are in a private place now, so to speak.
Okay. Yeah, so they seemed pleasant enough until Lucinda and her group seemed to balch at the mention of Ziona, so I tried to do a little prodding, and what seemed like a general, thirst for fun and drink felt at the end more like a thirst for violence.
Do we think that has any connection to our friend Marco?
I don't necessarily think so. I mean, there's no proof of that, but I mean, these could be people that are profiting off of like war or doing something nefarious with I don't know. They seem really they did not like that Ziona thing.
The fact that you mentioned Ziona specifically thinks that they may be totally looking for the opposite of what Ziona may stand for.
Yeah, they really seemed disgusted and almost angry just by Getafix's presence. So I don't think they're gonna like us very much. They offered me to stop by, but I don't know if that's a thing anymore. They know that I was trying to listen to them, so.
When did they want you to stop by?
Before we leave here, before we leave this town.
Got it.
So that, I mean, we could try to go there in a sneaky way or something, or just pretend that everything's fine and then just see what they're up to.
Well, maybe we should wait and see what happens at the Musty Mare.
Yes, definitely. Yes, we should go there. Priority. I'm just saying, I've never really tried to do that before, and it freaked me out, so.
I think as far as the Musty Mare goes, maybe I should sleuth in there, meet up with the good man, the Wonder Man, Marco, Mr. Marco.
Did we pick out what Marco Wonderman looks like?
I have an idea.
I was imagining Zoolander.
I'm imagining Jeremy Piven.
Who are you imagining, Erizo?
Jeremy Piven for some reason.
Huh.
I'm picturing Gary Busey over here.
All right,
Gary Busey it is. I like it.
Hold
I
on.
vote for that.
Hold on.
Yeah.
I was thinking Yeah, it'll be Gary Busey. It'll be Gary Busey. I had somebody.
I need exaggerated teeth.
Yeah.
Even more so.
So Gary Busey's kind of how to picture Gobin from the Blacksmithery, with the toothy maw smile that he was giving him. Gary Busey would fit there. But I think Gary Busey is fine for Marco Wonderman because Gary Busey's also, believe it or not, a very handsome man, which would be great for a politician.
Can we have, for the sake of things, Landar be John Malkovich?
John Malkovich?
Yeah.
That's interesting.
For Lander Dawnstar, I think that'll be fine. But it's not going to work because Lander Dawnstar has a long red ponytail.
Kind of throws a wrench in things.
Yeah.
It's a younger version.
It's adolescent stage.
I do like John Malkovich. But you guys head to the... you guys are discussing your matters on...
Yeah.
Yeah.
I wanted to say that I would meet up since Wonderman gave me, since Gary Busey gave me the note privately, that I would head in to the Musky Mare and do my duty to Dawnstar in the country.
Really twisting my arm here to go into the strip club, but
I'll go in by myself. Leave me be. And kind of the same ground rules, like if I'm in trouble, there's the double owl hoot.
Mm-hmm.
And I would expect everyone, not that I would expect, but kind of like on standby in case something goes awry.
Very nice.
So you're saying it would be weird if we all just like showed up there and that he expects only you to be there?
Well, the note was to just me, but if others want to come in, I mean it's just a Musky Mare. I mean, people can be at a strip club. I don't think it would be weird.
Just the old Musky Mare.
With you though. Like we could just like walk in and not be with you.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah, 100%. Like yeah, if people, I guess I didn't mean if people wanted to be outside. I meant
I
like
just happen to want to go to the strip club.
like my meeting specifically with Wonderman, probably solo at first while others are watching the situation.
Okay. Well, I don't mind having to come inside. I don't know if we should all go inside or what you're trying to say, but
I mean, whether that's from the stage or a private room, I mean, it's up to anyone.
I don't have any kind of like disguising or
Yeah.
anything, so
How about we call it a night? And next week when we come back, we can
have a plan.
Yeah, you guys can take a little time to sleep it over. Think about, because you got 2 hours before going to the Musky Mare. So you guys have a week to really plan this out. Now, this will be 2 episodes